Welcome to the Liverpool 12th Man Show. I'm the Liverpool 12th Man, and I am wanting to say hello. Not only that, to say I hope that everyone's doing well, get myself well centered and postured ready for this walk that I called it long. It's always good to see those that understand the concept of you'll never walk alone, because no one wants to walk alone, especially on a Wednesday. So we have, I know there's some games that are coming up. So, what I'm going to do is, we're going to just hang out, chill, talk some football, have the games on in the background somewhat. I have the multicast, at least with the service I have, you can multicast. So it splits the screen and it has both games on at the same time. I won't do any major spoilers or anything like that. If anyone is going to be saying that they don't want to watch or they're going to watch the game later, please say so in the chat, so I know that not to give any spoilers out there or anything like that. But big up to Daz, big up to Cedric, big up to John Conway. Long time, brother. Good to see you again. Redbird has some jokes earlier, so it is what it is with Redbird. I hope it's a Thursday thrashing for us to provide Thursday thrashing, But the Wednesday walk is certainly what we're doing today. With the champions in the background. So it is what it is. I hope that you guys are well, though. How's everyone's weekends or weekdays going, I should say, or midweek day going? We're going to be joined also by Brian, by the Irishman, and possibly even by JK, too. So Kismet might be here, and so might the Irishman. But for right now, it's just me and you guys just chatting away. So there's some cool little updates. Some of the stuff that I saw, it's kind of crazy. So a bunch of names on the list for tomorrow are kind of interesting to see. I know that a lot of our attention might be even on the Champions League in the background, and you know what? I'll ask this first question first, or this other question first. Who is it that you want to see win today? Who is it that you want to see win today? Who is it that you'd like to see win in these games? I know that it does something with the coefficient. I know that it also does something with it'll do something with us having the ability to have the other teams that we're competing with for the title involved in in games that they have to take on, and other very, very big games where they'll have to put their main guys in and figure out which games they're going to concentrate on as being their big games. But I'd like to know, who would you like to see winning these matches? It's a big question. I know I know for me, I'm somewhat okay. Let me see, you guys got putting some in. I'm somewhat I'm on the fence, to be honest with you. I'm honestly on the fence because I understand that it is important. But and it could have impacts on us in one way or another. But all right, so let me see this. Let me see what you guys are saying. Bonkers is saying that he wants Bayern and Madrid. Okay, so you want all the English teams knocked out. Okay. MK Toe says that he has no preference. Okay. Just want to watch some good football. I got you. Understood. Redbird says that he's not interested. He's only interested in tomorrow. I got you. I just it's a big thing going on right now. I wanted to ask real quick too. Are they doing? What's with the black, all black, like the trash bag looking stuff that they're using? Black flags, I guess you could say. Are they for City? Is this supposed to? What is that supposed to be for? Or is that the? Yeah, I don't know what that's for. Does anyone know what that's for? Or why they have the black? Why they're doing all black flags and they're waving it at Etihad. So it's just wondering if you guys knew or not. But yeah, this it's about to go down. We're a couple minutes before it ends up going down. Walking out onto the pitch. So yeah, I'm for me, I'm looking at it as I would like to see I definitely don't want to see Arsenal go on. Arsenal's already hurt though, and I don't even know though if them losing today would matter. I don't know if it would impact them. If anything, it might give them the ability to focus a little bit more solely on the Prem and concentrate on that. So considering they're not in any other competition, they're no longer in FA Cup, they're no longer in any of those competitions. So it would mean that they're only down to the Prem. As far as City and Real Madrid, it's a tough one because I don't want to see Real Madrid win another Champions League. But I definitely don't want to see City get a treble, another back-to-back trebles, or a double, or whatever you're looking at it as. I mean, that's just me personally. I don't know if that's what you guys think or not, but yeah, I just don't want to see that happening. And from the results yesterday, there was some really good games, or at least not yesterday, but earlier this week. There were some pretty good games. I don't know, guys. I don't know about you guys, but I kind of think that both the Europa and the Champions League have some really interesting competitions going on right now between these teams, between the teams left, and at least the teams left in them, I think, are all very, very comparable teams, all very good teams. It makes sense. I mean, it is this portion of the competition. You should have the best of the best, but okay. Watching Harry Kane's kid, the kid that was with Harry Kane, kind of messed up the procedure there. But yeah, it is what it is, man. It comes down to I think that we're going to get a good game today. It's very interesting that Delight and Dyer are starting today for Bayern. It's a unique situation because they have Sane on the right today, which is pretty interesting, as opposed to sometimes. I mean, I know he sometimes starts on the left, and now he's on the right today. That is interesting for Bayern Munich. Obviously, they have Harry Kane up front, and Real Madrid we get to see the possible brilliance of Jude Bellingham in his homeland of England. We shall see. Yeah, because they've got a lineup of their back line's an interesting lineup with Ruben and Akanji in the middle, and then they have Foden in the 10. Very interesting conversation. I'm hoping to get Brian or even JK in today, because I was watching something, or was watching a certain program that was highlighting about the 10 role today in today's game of football. And what's very interesting is in the opinion of the piece that I watched and some of the articles that I've read, the 10 is a dying position in football. And it's just so interesting that, where a lot of us are talking about trying to incorporate a 10 possibly in to the Liverpool scheme for the upcoming year. And it's I don't know. I don't know if that's the right move or not. I don't know. It's interesting. I know also I've been contemplating, there was the time when we had Bobby, and we saw the transitioning of Bobby from a player of brilliance, in my opinion, but as in we all see that he was starting, the father time was starting to catch up with them. He was starting to get the more injured more prevalently injured, and it was a case where like the false nine wasn't necessarily the best role for Bobby in my opinion, any longer because of all the running and the constant pressure that it takes to be a false nine. And I was thinking of like, well, maybe Bobby should move into this 10 role, And now I've been hearing that that's being considered by at least the fan bases out here. Would you want to see Mo Salah in the 10 role rather than in the wing role? It's interesting. It's interesting thought, at least. Big up to High Lord. Big up to Marion, by the way. Big up. How you guys doing? And Realism Jared, good to see you. Good to see you. But honestly, okay. And MK Toe is a no for you. Okay. So you don't want to see. So do you think that the right wing is the only place that you want to see? Because we've seen Mo transition into a central role as well. Hold on 1 second, too. We just got a guest that just walked in the door. Give me 1 second to bring this guy in. All right. Brian, how are you doing?
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. Fine, sir.
Very well.
Good. We were just talking. I was talking with the peeps here about. I read an article, and I read some articles, I should say, and I also saw a piece on the 10. Like, what is the 10? And it's somewhat similar to, and I'll transition into what Hyler's bringing up too, because that's something I wanted to bring up today too. But the 10 role for in football, and like the piece was basically about how the 10 role is a dying role in football today. And it's like it's with the more of the not the resilience, the reliance, of the 4-3-3 being the more preferred position or formation in football primarily. The 10 role has suffered, and there's a lot of like essence of the piece that I watched actually was talking about how football players today don't try to emulate that 10 role. They don't try. And I know that you're a big fan of like Ronaldinho's and stuff like that. Like those Barca teams with like players like that you could hold down like different roles of the positions of the 10. But like that role is somewhat dissipated in essence. And now like and why I'm bringing this up is because I was speaking about how before Bobby left us, I wanted to see Bobby move into a 10 role. I wanted to see us go into a 4-2-3-1. This is like early in the season, but even before the season began. And like I wanted to see Bobby in that 10 role, moving from that false 9 to the 10, utilize his ball playing skills and be able to, dribbling and ball playing skills and utilize his talents that way, But obviously we didn't go that route. Now there's been talks on some other content creators' channels and such, and in the fan bases about possibly moving Mo Salah into a 10 role. How do you feel about that?
Well, where was the article that said that the 10 was a dying role?
Okay, I can pull it up for you.
No, you don't. You don't need to read it out to me. I just didn't remember the publication.
It wasn't Goal. It was like I don't remember the publication.
That's fine.
I'll pull it up though because it'll be in my history of my searches. Because Fabregas, for instance, the original article I read was Fabregas. It was like an interview with
I can. Sorry, no, I can answer the question. Sorry. No, I just want to know because I can tell you're going to go into a different direction. I just wanted to answer it before you move on. somewhere else.
Mhm.
Because I'm just thinking, whoever they are, they're about 15 years too late with that article. The number 10 rule isn't dying. The number 10 rule is dead.
Oh wow.
It has been completely dead and eradicated from the top flight leagues, all the major sides.
Wow. Okay.
Since about the last true. Now, people as well, anyone that thinks Mo Salah can play number 10 needs their head examined. He's not capable of, it's just, that's like asking him to play as a goalkeeper. Now, there's a big difference between playing in the number 10 position and playing as a number 10. So when they say as a number 10, that's a role that doesn't exist anymore because that's an individual.
It was the Athletic too, by the way. It was the Athletic, by the way.
Yeah, they're fucking idiots. Whoever wrote that wrote.
You don't like the Athletic? Okay. It was an older story. It was an older story. It was like 2020 was when it was written. But yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's like I said, that they're fucking idiots for writing an article like that today saying it's dying.
Right.
Everybody involved in that has sorry, my phone is ringing. But they're not going to let this. Wait 1 second.
No problem. Yeah, why you think
sorry.
No worries.
No, you're grand. Basically, if you look at Klopp's quote, this is why the people that were talking about him doing it, like Klopp came into Liverpool and basically laid down his manifesto for football on how football shall be played and will be played, and he said no number 10 in world football can create is as good a playmaker as gegenpressing.
Right.
He just does not believe he does not believe in the use of a number 10.
Right.
It's like asking him to play with 4 strikers. Just it's not in his playbook.
Do you think that's a real quick? Do you think that's a? Do you think that's a? I won't say territorial, but like as in like, is that like a European philosophy? You think, as opposed to like maybe a South American philosophy?
It's his gegenpressing philosophy. It's Klopp's football. It's his philosophy.
Right.
Like that's his version of gegenpressing. There's no room for an individual because this comes down to systems football as well. No team in the world, no manager in the world will give one player that amount of freedom to control what happens up front. It's like I honestly, I'm very surprised that the Athletic isn't writing an article on the 20th anniversary of the death of the number 10, because the last true number 10 in Europe was Riquelme at the highest level.
Yeah, that's
and
funny.
He had to go back to South America.
Yeah,
he had to go back to South America, and that was after VAR. So that was around 2006, 2007. So what you have to remember is that no coach in the world now will just say, right, we're going to set up and just give the ball to him and let him dictate what happens. They wouldn't know. That's completely anathema to how they think. It's like, it's one of the great tragedies. It's one of the most horrible things that's happened to football with all this, it's more about being an athlete and super fit and following systems rather than having those individual flair players, amazing like footballers. It's killed that role. Some of the greatest footballers of all time were number 10s, guys that could just, could run a game on their own. But no manager wants that these days, and so we're losing out. Like we're losing out on so many really good types of players because of the system football that everybody plays now in Europe. So the idea of someone coming in, like that, you can have a type of a number 10, but not like the kind of what people imagine back in the day. Those guys are not coming through anymore because coaches don't want them. They're literally discarding them left, right, and center. Like Louis van Gaal just said, like, I don't want Riquelme at Barcelona. He's a political signing. They're coaching teams to do what they do, and they don't want this one maverick guy on the pitch. So, it's something that we've lost in a really big way. But you can understand why coaches don't want it, but I just wish, there was a way of having more of these types of players. But look what,
I was
look what would
one of the
Guardiola
reasons why
do
I
to
was
a
bringing it
team.
up was because of the talk about Mo Salah moving possibly to the 10 role. There was also a lot of people very, very optimistic that the next coach that comes in is going to be able to use Carvalho in that role, possibly. There is just I've even heard someone reference maybe trying to move Elliott to the 10 role
God,
to see
no,
if he could
Jesus.
utilize him as a 10.
Why? What do they think having the 10 is going to do? Why? What? You know what I mean? Why is it?
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen then if we're just going to win everything? It seems very strange. It's just, we've got this one guy. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Very weird thing to do.
Yeah,
when no one's played with some of that position for nearly 15, 20 years, and all of a sudden they still haven't realized that.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely hear what you're saying. I just know that that's just the talk now. Like that's what some people are saying, or at least that's what some of the conversations are migrating towards. And like, I saw that be mentioned, and I was like, I'm like, I kind of was like, I understand we're gonna have a new coach, so who knows what the new coach, what his philosophy is. Maybe we do have a coach that is, a disciple of the 4-2-3-1, but I just thought it's just interesting, and it's like it's almost equally interesting is what I was going to transition to, which is what Hyler brought up, which is okay. So most likely we're going to come out in a possibly somewhat different format, a more attacking formation for the Italian matchup, or do you think that we're going to go just same old 4-3-3, and just try to orchestrate, just try to be more clinical with our approach?
It's going to be same old, same old. He's not changing.
Okay.
He's not changing anything. The guy doesn't know how to change anymore. He has his system that he uses, and yet I know we were speaking about it the other night. And when I say, look, he only has his one system, I know it changes within games before people point. I know it's not a rigid 4-3-3. What I'm saying is, it's
By the
all
way,
part of.
City is down.
Yeah, I'm watching it.
Yeah. Okay.
But I know it's all the game plan, the system, what we do, the changes within it. It's that all is one thing. That's something he won't change. So yeah, he's just going to go the same. So when they put it up on paper, it'll be a 4-3-3. But it'll be, like I said, all he can do at the moment is change the personnel and ask them to execute better.
Right.
There'll be no it might be a more kind of the attitude in terms of you are going to have to go out there and from minute one be more intent and try and attack more, but there won't be. Yeah, we're not going to show up in a 3-5-2 and some crazy scenario and change everything and do that. So no, he's just going to go and just change it and ask the people to come in to do a better job. So I'm not expecting much in terms of that. I'm just expecting the attitude to be more if we're not flying into him out of the blocks straight away, then something's wrong. But it should be more of that.
Would you be, because what Hyler was saying is they played a 4-2-3-1 away. He's saying Man City now against blah 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 blah. They are to play a 4-1-4-1 at Real Madrid, and then he said it's a 4-2-3-1. But what he was saying earlier though is that, and this is something I saw on Twitter, and this is why I was wondering how you felt about this transitioning, this having the formations, talking about some of these formations or different variations of them. The talk is possibly putting a front four out and doing something of and then having bringing even an inverted Trent, using Trent inverted but still having a front four as being a part of it, being part of the concept, and just utilizing maybe him as the I guess would be the holding midfielder, maybe.
You see, if it was as simple as just starting four, like this is the kind of thing where managers back in the day, when they were winning games, they used to see a lot where a manager would just start he'd bring on another striker, and then he'd bring on another striker, and then you'd end up with four strikers on the pitch and nobody to give the ball to the strikers. If it was as easy as just like this is like I remember having this argument with someone before who said like we should play three at the back, and I was saying, well, we're not really a three at the back team. That's not, Liverpool. It's a very defensive kind of thing, this 5-3-2, 3-5-2. And you say, well, it's obvious, like the more defenders you have on the pitch, the fewer goals you concede. No. So why don't we just start with 6 defenders and never lose? It's just like, so it's the same as, well, if you put 4 strikers on, obviously then you'll score more. Like you're more likely to be left short in other places and get totally torn apart by a top tactical coach because just start 5 strikers every game, then you'll win every game. Yeah, he's just going to do the same thing he does every week.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Hope I for saw the best.
One of the I think I reposted on my actual feed, but one of the names that's trending right now on Twitter or X, I'm gonna call it Twitter, but it's X, I get it. Is Dan's, and a lot of people are talking about, they're excited to see Dan's possibly in a front four, utilizing Diaz out wide. What was the lineup they were saying? There's Diaz out wide. I want to say it was. Hold on, let me pull it up because I definitely don't want to misquote it. But it was like a basic front four. It had Salah move more centrally. They had Dan's obviously in the middle. And it might have been actually, or it might have even been Salah on the right and having Nunez and Dan's in the middle.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
So what's the midfield there? Just 2 lads just standing there on their own, yeah?
It's a good question. That's a good question. That's a very good question.
4-2-4.
I mean, like
nobody does that. We attack in a 4-2-4.
Right.
You don't need to start in a 4. They're just overthinking it. Let's put a load of strikers.
I think they were. I think
no. It's just I've seen this I've been watching this for years, man. People doing this. Oh well, let's just start. Why don't we're 2-3 down? Oh well, obviously let's just start the next game. Let's just bring on an extra striker from the start and dump one of the midfielders. Or we need goals, so let's start 2 extra attackers.
Right.
You end up with 4-4, or you end up with 5, 6 forwards on the pitch. It just don't work. Just don't work.
Yeah.
I don't think we have.
It doesn't work like that. Yeah.
No, exactly. If it was that easy, you just start with that many players every game, you blow everyone away. But I just think it's got to be a change in attitude and personnel, really. So I think like the 2 lads, Gakpo and Jota, starting over Diaz and Nunez, just to freshen things up. But
I definitely want to see.
Huge,
I want to see Diego
changes.
start. I want to see Diego start for sure. I definitely. I would like to see Diego start and be, not only Diego start, but like I'd like to see. It's not because I'm just completely done with Nunez. And more so, I just would like to utilize him more. Like I heard a lot of people talking about Nunez, for instance, and I'm like, well, he does have the ability to be a spark plug off the bench as well. We've seen him be a spark plug off the bench, obviously against Newcastle. And I wouldn't mind seeing that again. What was that?
That Newcastle game is a long time ago now. It's a great way. If you want to be his publicist,
he's been starting though. In his defense, he has been starting more so.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The last, you're thinking about his big performance off the bench. That was Newcastle. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
He's been
It
dog
was.
shit for the last 2 games. He doesn't deserve to start. If someone wants to be cheerleading for him, saying, "Oh yeah, brilliant option off the bench," yeah, okay, cool. He cost 65 million quid. He probably should be, but he's not good enough to start at the moment. So sit him down. You've had your chance the last 2 games. You haven't performed. So yeah, if he wants to come off the bench and make an impact, yeah, thanks, fair play. But we need someone on the pitch who's actually going to contribute from the start. And then hope, look, if him and Diaz are on the bench, then that's him and Diaz that can come on with a half an hour to go. Definitely, that's a good thing. That's quality to have on the bench. But I'd rather he was in the form of his life and scoring goals and up front. But we can't have it all. So just give Jota his chance. Gakpo's look good. Give him his chance. This is how you get in the team.
That's a shout for Cody. That's definitely a shout. I mean,
give the man give him his chance. Let him start a game and try and have a proper.
It's a shout. It's a definite shout.
But Jota's in there. If Jota doesn't start and if Jota doesn't start and Nunes does, I'll be shocked. I really will. I'll be shocked if that happens, because it's just 2 games in a row now. He's been hooked on the hour. He can't start again. Surely he can't start again. And Jota Jota's shown that he's fit enough. Give him the chance instead. But look, I didn't expect him to start against Palace, and he did. So who knows?
There's a good question. It's off topic from what we're speaking on, but I'll bring it up since it's a question from the chat here. And it says, 12th man and Brian, what was the reason Bayern bought Eric Dyer? They're playing him in a UCL quarterfinfinal.
I really don't.
They did start him today, and they are starting also Delight too.
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I haven't heard that there was some kind of. I thought perhaps they had to sell somebody,
right?
Or somebody got injured and they needed kind of a short-term cover kind of thing. But I really haven't seen any kind of story coming out saying, "Oh well, he was bought in for this particular reason or that." It just seemed like Thomas Tuchel actually genuinely thought he was a good player and wanted to buy him, which is pretty bizarre, if you ask me. I mean, he was sitting on the I think probably a bit of time at the start, but he pretty much, as soon as Postecoglou came in, he was done. He didn't play, so he was kind of rotting on the bench, and then all of a sudden Bayern come in and pick him up. It's one of the most bizarre ones.
Kind of weird. I didn't understand that at all.
I didn't.
It's not like he's like one of the top center backs in the world or something like that.
If it was Pochettino, it would have made sense to me, because it was he's
used him before.
He knew,
right?
Yeah, he knew he had a hole in his squad, and he knew he was going to have an issue, and he just pick up some guy for 10 million or 12 million. Yeah, he knew him. He'd had him before, but Tuchel has no association with him. I just really bizarre, absolutely bizarre transfer, I thought. And he's getting he started. That he was sat on the bench at Tottenham, and he went to Bayern, and just literally immediately started getting first team football.
Right.
It's just, what the hell is going on at Bayern when you look at the people they have?
It's more. I was gonna say it's more a testament of what's going on at Bayern, less testament of of the brilliance of Dyer. I would say. I mean.
Oh, nobody was sitting there going, "Oh, they picked up a great player there." Even Bayern fans were like, "Why?"
Yeah. There was something. Also, speaking of, there was something earlier today. I was watching a report about. I'm slightly confused as to what and how they're getting away with the easement of the FFP / profitability, sustainability, or PSR things, Chelsea at least. And that's because apparently Chelsea has sold, they've sold they sold 2 hotels, and that has been the relief that they needed for them to be able to get by in not being in
Breaking the
agreements
rules.
with yeah. So I
I,
mean, like
I
one, if you're selling off assets like hotels, that says something. That says you were in trouble. That says you were in trouble. You don't sell away. You don't sell assets like that. You know, if
yeah,
you got cash in the cash in the bank, or or credit to work off of. You know what I mean? It was
I don't.
interesting.
Yeah, I don't understand. I'm not sure where.
And
Yeah, like
how's it get around that too? Go ahead.
yeah, I'm not sure where that story's come from either. Like that's not football income, so
Yeah, I know. That's
that wouldn't
exactly.
have anything to do with it. It wouldn't go on your books. That won't get
Hmm.
them. That won't. You can take in all the money you want that way, but that just yeah, that won't go on your footballing accounts. It's not football related income or expenditure. So it's
Hmm.
that's like I know how they're getting around it. I mean, I know how they're getting around it. Um, but I've never heard anything about them having to say if they sold Stamford Bridge, and they did something like that. But no, I don't see this hotel unless they're part of like. No, even then I don't see how that could be worked in as football income. But they
That's
make a lot
exactly
of
what I was
money.
confused about. Yeah, that's exactly what I was confused about because, like, you know, the report was it was apparently by I'll pull that up as well, but it was by David Ornstein made the report about that it was now everything was okay and good with their penalties and such. Um,
I have to
let me
read
see if
that
I
and
can.
see what.
Yeah. Um, and it was something of interest, and it's like, how is selling off hotels, like, how is that connected to football income? Or how's that, like, because then if that's the case, then, and it was also because, so apparently Chelsea utilized independent, because the Premier League is not, quote, reports are that the Premier League is still not completely sold on it, and it kind of conflicts with what David Ornstein's saying. But um, it was still the fact that there are reports of them selling the hotels is accurate, but the pricing for it, the pricing for the actual hotels that was put out there is supposedly, it was done by an independent group, but there's still disputing. There's still some like discrepancies in maybe some of the evaluations for the pricing that they utilize to evaluate the price of the hotels. It's a weird thing, and it's something that makes you go, I'm very happy that our club is not going through this kind of malarkey, basically. Like, as I'm glad to know that we're at least not having to negotiate or figure out like how to get more funds or something for the club so that we don't get struck with a point ban or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I don't look. I'm sick to death of saying it. That's what I've always said about FSG. This is we're we're,
Mm-hmm.
we're run we're run the right way. We don't spend as much as a lot of people would like us to spend, or back in the past that we could have spent. But just that's another thing to get into. But the
Mm-hmm.
most important part is that you've ended up with pretty much a kind of a debt free scenario. There's no issues there. No, there's always debt. Every club has debt, but it's kind of working debt. But we've ended up at the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
We've ended up at the training ground, and
Mm-hmm.
we're never really. We're pretty close to it at the moment. I know we're very close to FFP in terms of what we can spend, and
Mm-hmm.
every club is because of the way these new rules are going to come in. But we've never been in any kind of some of these nonsense situations that a lot of clubs are ended up in It's really,
Yeah.
yeah, you know, like if we'd done a lot of the things that some people wanted us to do, we would be dealing with things like this, no doubt. At some, not saying we would have gotten points, fines, but we would have been definitely dealing with things if we gone and spent some of the money people want to spend, because you can only spend what you earn now to a degree, you know, and as long as what you earn is
Yeah.
legit, you're okay. So you
I'll
can't.
read you out. I'll read you out the quote. Mhm. Go ahead. I'm
Yeah, go
sorry.
ahead.
No, I was gonna say I'll read you out the quote from David Ornstein. So, or at least the article that was it was in. And this was published yesterday. It says about European football this season, Chelsea have had to find different ways of generating revenue, and even sold themselves. And that's the weird thing. Notice what I just said. Sold themselves. So they sold themselves hotels, which is kind of weird. Kind of weird. Hold on a second. Let's get that out there. So they sold themselves 2 hotels for 76 million, which has raised a few eyebrows. However, journalist David Ornstein has confirmed that despite all the noise surrounding the club, they are actually compliant with the rules. Speaking on NBC, Ornstein said, I've got to point out that Chelsea are compliant, and that is the bottom line here. They are in keeping with the Premier League's rules. Despite reports to the contrary, Chelsea believe they will be fully compliant with the next cycle of accounts on the PSR up to June 2024. They still got player sales they can make. They've still got property sales they might be able to make as well. Ornstein added to Todd Bowley and Clear Lake that they were aware of the expectations and were adamant they would get things right at Chelsea. They know expectations are high. They know they must do better, and they do not want any excuses. They are adamant that despite the public noise, they will get this right. It's widely expected that Chelsea will sell off a number of their academy products this summer as they count as pure profit on the books.
Yeah, that's how they're doing it. That's how they've always done it. People don't realize just how much money they've made through player sales. They have spent an absolute ton, but they will comply. Absolutely. That's the thing. They are compliant, because we spoke about this the other night. Clubs know well in advance if they're going to be compliant or not. So they know they have to get their house in order before the account. Like it's like you have, but we don't have it over here, but you have to file your tax returns. You know you have to get it right, and you know when it has to go in. So they'll know when they have to have their filings in and when it has to be, submitted, and when it's going to be come through, and when you get your money back and your judgment and all that stuff. So they'll know 6 months in advance that we in 6 months we'll have done this. But I'm not sure. I don't know if that means it's directly linked to the hotel thing, but that's for Chelsea anyway. But yeah, they will comply. They will comply, and they'll probably do it by selling a Gallagher and 1 or 2 others. And you won't even notice it. That's what they've done. They've done it over the years.
Would you take Gallagher? Would you take Gallagher as a squad player with our club?
No, he's a good player. But no,
I didn't say starter. I said just a squad player.
Yeah, I heard what you said. Yeah, I said no.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't. He's a good player, but I wouldn't be going out. We're going out to give them what they probably want, whatever they want for. He's someone I'd be. Oh, would you sell him? If you had him, no, I hang on to him. But I'm going out of my way to get him. No, money that'd be better spent elsewhere.
Okay. Would you go in for Colwell again?
No, we don't need him either.
No?
Exorbitant prices for these guys. These English guys from Chelsea. Yeah, let someone else give them 60, 70 million. When we have a player like Kwanzaa, and you could get someone, you could buy some guy from Spain or Portugal for 30 million. That'd be a top centre half. You don't need to go out and break the bank like Colwell, and I don't know how long they've got Gallagher on, but they'd be looking at 50 for him probably.
Yeah,
they'd be
I can look that up for you.
They were quoting Colwell in the summer, weren't they? 70 million. Forget that. No chance. We've got Kwanzaa.
I
We've
heard
got
60 million. Yeah, 70 million euros,
yeah,
I guess, but I heard 60 million GBP.
yeah.
Um,
Just too much, for to be helping them out with their FFP as well. No, that's something
yeah, I
else.
mean, like it's
Yeah.
also an interesting thing because I mean, just because you have a good player, what your evaluation is, I get that you might have had a high evaluation, but you're the one that's desperate. We don't have teams don't have to buy from you.
Well, I think they'll keep
So
Caldwell as well. I don't think they'll want to sell him. I think they'll want to
okay,
keep him. He'd be one that they would be hoping to keep. They'd be hoping to sell a Gallagher and even if like they sold Ruben Loftus-Cheek there recently, 25 million to AC Milan.
right.
It's that level that they'll want to be moving on, and then some young kid but then they go out and the funniest thing, I just thought the funny thing was they did all that and then they went out and bought basically an identical the Man City version. They gave them 45 minutes for Cole Palmer, like their academy product. Like,
Right.
it's like all this
Yeah.
time buying these young players, and you still end up going out and getting the best one
Yeah.
that you have is from Manchester City's academy, and he costs you 45 million.
Yep. Did you? It's so funny about that, and I do see. I big up to Daryl. I hope that your job went well today, Daryl. Daryl just got a new job, so yeah.
Congratulations, Daryl. Hope it went well.
Hope it went well.
All the best with it as well.
And speaking of Cole Palmer, that was something I saw on my feed as well. There was a piece on basically
that's Daryl from Frank's show, yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice one. Oh,
yeah,
big up Daryl.
Yeah. There was a piece that it basically was trying to big up. Oh no. Looks like it says it wasn't for him. He says he left it already. Wasn't for him. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, brother.
Oh, right, okay. Oh well, sure. Look, at least you knew pretty quick then. You didn't waste too much time in there.
Exactly.
Yeah, if it's not the right thing, then at least you didn't waste your time. If it's not the right thing.
But it was funny. I sent it to JK, and the clip was basically about the clip was like a montage or something like that of video and stills, and on it was talking about they said Todd Bowley doesn't know how to deal, and he's like, he sold Mason Mount for 65 million, I think, or something like that, right around there, correct?
More like 55.
55, okay. But ended up buying Palmer for 40, 45, 40, somewhere around there.
Yeah, they definitely cleared money on that one. If you were looking at it that way, they definitely cleared. They definitely got more. That's a good question, actually. Would it have been as much as 60 million for Mason Mount? It might have been,
I think it was.
Might have been.
To be honest with you. At least that's what the clip said on there.
I can double check. And he's done absolutely nothing. I mean, I didn't see why he was.
Sometimes I forget that he's even playing for Manchester United. To be honest with you.
Yeah, you would. No, it'd be forgivable to easily forget that he went there.
Yeah,
easy.
And
he's made zero impact.
Zero impact. Absolutely.
I said he's a Klopp player. He would have been great under Klopp. A hard running, hard working midfielder that could score goals and get assists. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, double figures for goals and assists in the Premier League.
Right.
From midfield. Imagine it just sounds like a Klopp midfielder, hard working and quality as well. I thought he would have been brilliant under Klopp. But I looked at him going to Man United going, what the hell are you going there for? That's literally the worst club you could go to. Just stay at or something. Stay at. How bad does it have to be to get? How badly do you want to get out of Chelsea to look at that Man United side and think, yeah, that's the best place for my career?
Is that really what they said? Right. Apparently they made like a 25 million profit. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I thought you were cutting in there. I just stopped because you were saying so. I didn't know what
Oh
you're
no,
saying.
okay. Yeah, 40 million pounds. Yeah, they sold. Apparently, they said this. The clip has it as being 40 million was the price for Palmer, and 65 million was the price for Mason Mount that they sold him for. That's what
I
the
think
clip said.
they're moving the needle either way. I think that'd be. I'd say that's more like 45 and 60, so that'd bring it down to a 15. That's high. That's high and low, if you know what I mean. That's the high side of
Yeah,
Mason Mount.
yeah.
That's the low side of Cole Palmer. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Cole Palmer was, yeah, I would say a little bit more than that. But look,
Oh
who
wait,
got
hold
the
on. You
better
got
deal?
we got it. High Lord's always on point. So Mason Mount was 64.2 million euros.
Oh,
Okay.
euros. Yeah. That's only like
Okay.
55 million pound.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
This, I mean,
64
on
in
here
euros
it
is.
says it on the clip. It literally says 65 million. It says 40 million pounds. I'm just repeating what I said on the clip. That
Yeah,
has
65 million euros would be make more sense. So yeah, that's about 55.
yeah.
And that transfer was done in
Still a good.
pounds.
It's
So
still it's still a good. It's still a good bit of business. I'll admit that though. From what it's turning out to be, still a
yeah,
good bit of business. They got rid of Mount. I'm certainly happy that we didn't necessarily pick up on.
oof.
I don't think that Mount's a horrible player, but I'm glad this, considering the amount of production that they've gotten out of Mount. I'm glad that we didn't make that one of our major investments.
No, I don't think
You,
we were going to go there at that money. I just because we were being so heavily linked with him,
uh,
um, I just looked at it more in terms of, well, yeah, if people were, oh, people hated him. They hated his rat face and they hate the fact that he played for Chelsea. And I was like, yeah, I get that. I do too. And I don't want us, like I caveat, I do not want us to sign him. I do
right,
not in any way. But I guarantee you, he'd be brilliant for Klopp. He
right,
would
right,
be a brilliant Klopp footballer. He'd made
right,
for it. He'd
right.
love him the way he plays midfield. He would just love him, and he'd run all day and work all day, and you get goals and assists out of him. But yeah, please do not sign him. He's
Yeah.
like the English Bruno Fernandes with that little rat face. But I don't ever want to sign anybody from Chelsea. Seriously though,
Oh man. Oh,
I
that's
never
cool. I
want to
didn't know
sign
that Daryl's a
anybody from
chef, by
Chelsea.
the way. I didn't know Daryl's a chef. That's cool. He's Brian deals in the culinary arts as well. That's why this guy's got something in common. Interesting.
Oh, that sucks when you go into a kitchen. You don't. That's unlucky, Darren. But look, he's a chef. He knows, man. There's always chef jobs out there. There's always somewhere.
Yeah, there's always a chef job there that the opportunities are abundant if you know how to burn, as my grandmother used to say.
People got to eat.
Um no, I was gonna bring up this other comment too, and then I'll bring up Rilla's and Jared's comment.
We got JK tonight. No JK.
JK will be joining us in a
Oh,
little
okay.
bit. He will
Okay.
be. I saw his message. He said he'll be joining us in a little bit. There was this right here. Um, do you really think that this is what is happening? Do you really think that this is really going on? This is according to Redman TV. That's what the reports are.
Sorry, I can't watch prop. Redman TV said we are chasing. Oh, Victor Osimhen.
Yeah,
Yeah, it all went very quiet on him after his
it did.
heroics last year. Everyone 150 million to PSG and yada yada yada. I'd be surprised they're going to sell one of. They'll sell him, or they'll sell your man Kvaratskhelia, or yeah, him. Yeah, one of them would be like Osman, Kvaratskhelia, and that other guy that they have. I can't remember his name. Really good attacking guy. But anyway, they're both worth too much money for Napoli to keep for too long. But Napoli have been off this season. Osimhen's been off. They've all been off. So his
Mm-hmm.
name's dropped off a little bit, but he's look, if he could replicate what he did last year, that
Mm-hmm.
kind of form, that kind of ability, most weeks. Yeah, I've only seen bits and pieces of him, but he's clearly a real proper number 9. This reminds me a little bit of Fernando Torres in terms of pace,
Mm,
power.
mm.
You know, he's not a big. He's big, but he's
That's
not. You
high
know, like
praise. Yeah.
just in terms of his kind of his what would his best. Like he's fast and he's strong, but not like built like a Drogba or Lukaku. He seems to be a bit thinner, but he's very big.
Hmm.
You know, a fast, good finisher, or a proper kind of not old fashioned number nine, but yeah, not a 9.5 or you know not Jesus or this guy's a real goal scorer.
Mm.
But yeah, look, we've seen what happens. We have someone who was a goal scorer. Admittedly, Napoli's done it at a much bigger, at a much higher level. Or Osman has. So I'd love us to buy him, but yeah, I this De Laurentiis, the Napoli, he doesn't mess around. This guy's a crazy MF. So you're going to pay probably triple digits
Hmm.
or close to it. So it's a huge investment. But I'd love us to buy him. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah, do we?
Um,
But or do we buy him? No chance. Absolutely not. We would have to sell Darwin and probably add in like yeah, we'd have to sell Darwin to buy him to have like half the money to buy him. You know, there's no way FFP or FSG would allow us to go out and put down 120 to get him without a big-ish sale. So
yes. Yeah.
you know, I think yeah, do we get him? No.
Yeah. It also got me to thinking too. Um, I get the criticism that's going on for Darwin. I also um, I understand that often when it comes to strikers, we often get when it comes to strikers at least we often get a case of the price tag might be pretty exuberant. I mean, you're just talking, you know, nine figures for Victor, you know, or
Well, that's what they were
Darwin.
demanding last summer. That's what he
Right,
was
right,
demanding it like
right,
150. So it will have come down, but I reckon it'll still be touching that number to get him. Yeah, 100.
right, right. And but it got me to thinking this question too, or at least this concept, at least when it comes to a lot of what we're seeing. And I get it. This isn't trying to make an excuse for Darwin or like that. This is just related to his price tag. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Not on his talent, not an assessment of who he is or what he is. Um, it's halftime now in both of the games, the Champions League game here. Um, when it comes to strikers in today's market, the price for strikers is exuberant, but the talent that is credited to that price tag has been certainly it's been inflated, I think. You get where I'm going with this? In the
Not
sense
sure.
of when you really think about when you really think about the great strikers, let's say, you know, like the greatest strikers of all time in the last like 10, 15, 20
Yeah,
years, you know, there's
yeah.
some really great names. Or for instance, I remember like they I heard someone try to bring up the concept of they were talking about like shoot, let me get the names of all the like they're just going through some of the strikers that you know the era of the 90s and that era of strikers at least so, something along those lines, right? And you had some great names involved in there, and then you measure it up to like the strikers that today are getting prices that are 10 times the price. And I understand inflation and the such, and like, you know, adjusted numbers for those matters. But it's one of those things where like, whether it's, you know, I'm trying to think some of the names that you would have even seen off there. Like, uh,
So
I
what you're
do have a
saying
list that I'm trying to
what
find
you're saying is
here.
what you're saying is, if I maybe, what you're saying is
Mhm.
we criticize players too much because they cost a lot of money these days and the prices are overinflated. So Darwin shouldn't be criticized for costing 65 million. Would that be correct?
I'm just saying that it's an unfortunate weight that he has on his shoulders,
I rarely
considering
hear it
that the
mentioned.
prices today for strikers are heavily inflated.
Yeah, I rarely hear
Oh,
his
with his
price
price
tag.
tag?
Am I on a delay or are you on a delay? Can you hear me? No.
Oh, wow. I might
No?
be on a
Can
delay.
you
I
hear
might
me?
be on a delay. I get it if I'm on a delay. I can
Um,
hear you.
yeah, when it's not something like I don't exist in the Twitter sphere. I realize if you live on Twitter, you're going to hear this kind of
Mhm.
shit. But from the average,
Mhm.
the average kind of across the board, the sane world, I very rarely hear it brought up. I bring it up more often than anyone else. And yeah, look, it's, you don't need to tell anybody, players don't pick the price tag. When I bring up a when I say something like, for a guy we spent 80 million on, we should be getting more than this. What I'm referring to as much as anything is the people that brought him in, the coaches that brought him in, the whole decision making around bringing him in. I never blame a player
Mhm.
because he cost X amount of money.
Mhm.
When I say
Mhm.
right to expect that, no, you've
Yep.
no right to expect anything. But when you look at it, the huge money signings more often than not actually aren't massive successes. But it's more that we've gone out and spent. And I said at the start of the season or the previous season, when people were talking about, oh, he'll come good in a year, he'll come good in 18 months, and I'm like, okay, sorry, I must be late to the party because I didn't realize that Liverpool was the kind of club that could bet 80 million quid potentially on a striker that ain't the finished article that might take 2 years. Sorry, I didn't realize we were that kind of rich luxury club.
Right.
That was always my main point. That when you have that much
Right.
invested in something, you tend to kind of need it to work now. Maybe City can put Grealish
Mhm.
on the bench for a year after buying him for 100 million and blend him into the squad. I didn't know Liverpool were that kind of
Mhm.
club. So that's a
Mhm.
collective thing when it comes to the price. But look, market value, timing, contract length, all that stuff comes into even a breakout clause or
Mhm.
a breakout clause. What am I calling them? Breakout clause? Buyout clause.
Release clause.
Buyout
Yeah.
clause, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, release clause. Like even that can come into it. So no, I never put
Mhm.
it on the guy's head. He never
Buyout
demanded
release.
like, yeah, you must pay
Yeah.
65 million to get me. But it's just, but and look, of course, elite goal scorers. Again, Darwin and elite goal scorers. But yeah, look, big goal scoring number nines have always been a rare enough commodity. Even when there were kind of fashionable, good ones always cost the most. It was basically, it's only maybe in recent years, very recently, that anyone other than kind of big name
Mhm.
strikers were the most expensive players or the world record holders. You know, until you got to the likes of Zidane and Messi, and now you've even got defenders that cost as much. You know, back in the day, the idea that like you could have like a
Right.
Vardiol at that level, it could cost that. Even the best defenders in the world, didn't matter how good they were, never like maybe half of the price of the best striker. You know, even if he was a Baresi or something, there's no way he'd be a world record. Now, like you have Van Dijk and
Mhm.
Vardiol and stuff like that, and they are kind of thinner on the ground, like we speak it all season. Look, if we take our own boy out of it, and you take Erling Haaland out of it, and you look at the Premier League, you're looking at Dominic Solanke, you're looking at Ollie Watkins, you're looking at Cunha at Wolves. Like this is the level. These are the next best strikers. Watkins, Solanke, um, Bowen. Maybe if he's not a striker, you know, that's
That's
the
kind of what I'm getting
paucity
at
of
this
it. Like,
point too. By the way.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's nothing out there. I mean, if we were to sell Darwin tomorrow, and you could only buy a striker from the Premier League, right? If Darwin went home to Uruguay tomorrow,
Right.
and we could only buy a striker from a current that's currently playing in the Premier League. I mean, if it's not Ollie Watkins, then you're like, what, Ivan Toney? Christ, who else is out there?
That's exactly why I'm getting at this point.
Yeah.
Yep.
They cost, and they're gone to shit. But it happened in Iceland when Iceland broke through onto the footballing scene there a while ago. They spent a ton of money on coaching, and they do stuff quickly over there. So they built loads of indoor arenas and stadiums for coaching. And the whole world was obsessed with like attacking midfielders. And within 5 years, they had they didn't have a single number 9 in their youth system because they coached them all to be attacking one-two touch, attacking midfielders, right backs, defenders. So they actually, their FA realized what was going on. The same thing has happened in Norway, I think, but it's definitely happened in Iceland because they accelerated these things so quick that the results are there quickest in Iceland. So their FA has had to intervene to tell them to basically change the way we're bringing these players through, because we need to bring through strikers as well, because they basically had a load of number 8s.
Okay.
That's all they had coming through, was that they basically eradicated strikers from their game because of overcoaching. And they realized after 4 years, like, actually, yeah, we've got like 20 Kevin De Bruyne's or whatever. You know what I mean? They all want to be him. There's no Haalands, there's no poachers, there's no finishers. So they've had to step in and change what they're doing, had to stop, because it was the big guys, the guys who weren't, physically correct. They were getting weeded out. So they've had to look at what they're doing, because it's overcoaching in all across the world has created a big problem here. These big old school number 9s, they were just being booted out of the game. You're not skillful enough. You're not quick. All this, you're not athletic enough. They're just getting weeded out early, and now they're seeing the paucity of it. Like, because Pep Guardiola wanting like 10 David Silvas. Right.
And that's why I was bringing that up, is because, we just spoke about, I know Mason Mount's not a number 9, but, we're talking about some of these prices for some of these players. And like, I get that, times change, inflation, and everything else I spoke of earlier. Some of the prices that are going for some of these players that, High Lord brought up the Mason Mount numbers in euros again. Let me see if I can find what the price was that he brought out. But he brought out for the price, for instance, with when he included Mason Mount in there, he also put in the striker for them as well. Let me see if I can find it. He put it in as trying to find the actual stat that he wrote. But it was something like Rasmus. You saw it. It was like something. It was like 70-some million, or
73 million euros for Rasmus Højlund.
Yeah. So right around about the same price. I don't know what the incentives were, or if that included incentives or not, or add-ons, but somewhat around the same price that we paid for. Oh, here it was. 73.9 million euros for Rasmus Højlund.
That's 60 million quid.
Okay. And that's
if they manage to get that plus add-ons, a whole 60 million plus add-ons, they did some job. For a kid that had only scored 9 goals, to get 60 million quid was unbelievable. Like, he'd scored 18, but he only had 2 previous seasons. He'd scored 9 goals and 9 goals in both of his previous seasons. So 18 in his whole career. They managed to get 60 million quid from him. If they managed to get another 20 or 25 in add-ons, those boys are geniuses. I should get them to sell my house.
I mean, like, it's like, it's sort of like, would you spent that kind of money for who? Mudryk, right? The Chelsea player, right? Or
even Arsenal backed away. They were saying Arsenal were in for him for the 100 million. That Chelsea paid. And came out saying it's 11. It was 9 league goals.
Yeah.
Arsenal only went to like 55 for him,
Yeah.
55 million, and then they were like, "Nah, this is this anyway." Because then they heard like, "No, it's seriously, it's 100 million."
Yeah.
I mean, I would have loved to have him. He was a brilliant, well, could be absolutely brilliant player, but he goes to that crazy clown show. But
Right.
at that kind of price, Christ no, for an unproven 21-year-old kid, I mean, no way. That's just insanity.
But that's what I'm trying to get. Like I said, it's unfortunate, somewhat unfortunate that these strikers, whenever I know that you don't delve into the socials, that social media forums, that on Twitter and everything else, but I
Stay
do,
away.
and like, and the other content creators forums as well, the other chats and such. And often when you hear the conversations go, at least in some of the conversations that I've been partaking in, one of the first things they'll say is, "Oh, well, he was an 85 million, striker, or he was this amount of million. He's 75 million striker, 70 million, whatever the price is for that player, 100 million, 120 million, whatever it is, and that gets weighted against his contributions, and it also definitely affects the amount of time that goes on, the amount of leeway you allow for that player to grow into the
Well, it's about
striker that you
expectation.
need. Yeah.
It's about expectation, and
Yeah.
fans have a right to expect that their club has gone out and spent that money on a player that can do it. It's
Yeah.
when rival fans do it, they'll inflate it to, yeah, like the maximum 85.6 million or whatever it is. There's no way he's reached those add-ons that aren't appearance based.
Yeah.
The only add-ons bonuses we'll have to pay for him are the ones that, if they are written in as when he plays 100 games, or when he plays 50
Uh-huh.
games, or when he plays X amount of games in the Premier League, because that's it really. But yeah, it's not just Darwin, it's everyone gets thrown at him. Everybody gets that thing thrown at them. For me, yeah, like I say, I don't even hear it in chat that much from, they don't even bring up his price. They've gone beyond that.
Right.
It's just like, and I think everyone is perfectly entitled to be fed up, or done, or whatever, and want to change, because at this stage you can't tell anyone that, all given time, or you haven't watched them long enough. I think at this stage, anyone who's seen him that's still backing him, cool. Anyone that's seen him and has had enough with him, cool, because you're entitled to say
Yeah, I
after
get you.
2 years what you think. But I he's one guy I don't expect to leave, and he's one guy who a new manager could come in and do something different, than you see a slightly different version of Darwin. But even if that happens, it's like, it just because, if someone makes 3 movies, if the first 2 are shit and the third one is brilliant, it doesn't mean the first 2 weren't shit. So he's been shit. If he gets better, he gets better, but it won't be some kind of you were all wrong for doubting Darwin. No, he hasn't performed. He's not performing at the
Mhm.
moment, and I'd say he's just dying for a fresh start, and
Uh-huh.
that fresh start would be a new manager, something different. But it'll
Yeah.
just be maybe a formation change or a situation change that gets him firing and gets him going. I don't see it happening, because I like Darwin. Obviously, great. Look, he's clearly, whatever, but I still see the same footballer that arrived, in terms of his finishing and all those things. So, he's never let us down in terms of attitude and application.
Yeah. I
So
apologize for pausing to make. We didn't. JK's been patiently waiting for his introduction, and I'd like to, you know, uh, graciously say hello to our pal here, JK. How are you doing, JK?
All good, bro. I hope you're cool. Yeah, Brian as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely so. That I sent you a message on Twitter just in case, by the way.
Okay,
Um,
bro. Check it.
Take a look at it if you can at some time. But also, welcome. I know that you've got a big game in going on in your backyard. of Berlin there. With the name, what's the name of the stadium? Allianz, right?
Allianz,
Yes.
yep.
Yep.
Mhm.
I didn't know if it
been
was
there,
called. I'm surprised they don't just call it straight up T-Mobile. I thought that's why. I know that the T-Mobile is the kit jersey, but I'm surprised they don't call it Allianz.
Allianz is the primary sponsor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the primary sponsor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been there. It's really said. I love the stadium. It's like a space shuttle or something. Like space, something out of Star Trek.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
And it changes, like if it's not just
Yeah, the
Bayern's
colours.
ground. Like if 1860 Munchen play there, it all lights up blue when they play, it lights up
Oh,
red
that's cool.
when Bayern play. Yeah, it's shared
Oh,
stadium.
that's-
Like it's not
yeah,
just
that's
theirs.
cool.
Like, yeah.
What would you say? Like, what is your I wouldn't say favorite, but what is the most alluring? Because obviously, you know, we all say it. You know, we all go to Anfield and say, "Oh, Anfield is my favorite stadium." Blah blah blah. But like, what is the most like technologically like advanced? Like, what is the most intriguing stadium in your opinion?
There's only one for me. It's San Siro.
San Siro, okay.
Oh, when I went there, my eyes started watering. I was like, when you watch football as a kid, you'll see the San
Aren't they?
Siro.
Aren't they about to replace San Siro or no?
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
what I've
gone.
heard.
But are they,
Huh?
yeah, it's the Giuseppe Meazza Stadium. That's what is it? Next, it's either this. Yeah, it's only got a year left at most. It's gone. It's
Yeah.
one of the most iconic stadiums in world football. But yeah, they're tearing it down.
Yeah.
That's going to be tragic. That is. Yeah, that's where a
They
lot
did
of big games happen there. A lot of some that I know.
They did
I'm with
that
JK watching it growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did that with the Del Alpi in Juventus.
Yeah,
I went to
had,
the old one. Yeah, and they've replaced it now, haven't they? So.
Well, what they did was when Juve they had Deli Alpi, which was like 70,000. It was just enormous, big bowl of a stadium, and it was going to shit, and their attendances were going to shit, and they were averaging around 35,000 every second week, so they had this enormous half-empty stadium, so they knocked it down, and one of the only clubs really in world football. They knocked it down and built a much smaller stadium. They built their that's going to kill me. The name of the new one.
Better sight lines or something. I guess basically
much
better,
smaller.
More...
Oh, it's a brand new stadium, but just much smaller. So now it's completely packed all the time. I think it's only around 40,000 odd now. So they basically built a stadium that was half the size, where no other club in world football was going out and building a smaller stadium. And that was kind of the start of them getting back on track, was when they started filling their new ground, because everyone in Italy, it was like this, like one of the worst stadiums in Italy to go to. It was Deli Alpi, because the thing was falling down.
Wow.
But now they have a packed brand new stadium and everyone loves it. Everything's nice, new, shiny. So that was a good move. That was a good move, like.
That's cool. I mean, like, I really want to, like, we were talking about stadiums because we were talking about fields and everything else, and how, like, you know, the field here for the stadium near my home, and like how, like, they, you know, and we talked about Real Madrid's stadium as well, and how they have like the field that like dips in between. Oh my goodness, sorry about that. Just watching. I got the multicast going on on the side there, and City is knocking on the door. City is knocking on the door. Colin almost got an opportunity there. But I was thinking of like stadiums and such, and like what would be other if you got a ticket to 3 stadiums in the world, and Anfield was one of them, of course, you know. So let's just knock that off the list there. Anfield was one of them. What would be the other 2 stadiums? Obviously, you said San Siro as being one of your choices. Oh, is that the third one for you?
No, that's what the San Siro is called. It's not called San Siro. It's
Oh,
called Giuseppe
oh,
Meazza.
oh. Okay.
Yeah. It's called Giuseppe Meazza.
What would be the third? What would be your third choice? You got three choices. You got three. I'm assuming Anfield's one of the stadiums that you would want to go to. You know, or we could even go if you got three choices and Anfield can't be one of them. How about that? We'll do that. Three choices of stadiums you would like to go. The three stadiums you'd want to go see a match at. Okay, what would be the three stadiums? San Siro is one of them you said, but still, what were the other two?
I would go with the Allianz in Bayern Munich one.
Okay. You haven't been to a Bayern Munich game yet?
I haven't been to a game, but I've been to the stadium. Like we just went through there just to have a quick look and stuff. Never went to the game.
You just went in for a piss. Walking past. I'll pop in there.
Fuck it, yeah, quickly go pop in there.
Yeah, thanks, Bayern. Nice stadium, by the way.
Nice stadium, by the way.
What is JK doing in the corner over there? Yeah, like yeah.
Damn. But the other one, I have to think about that one. So let Brian go next, and I'll think about it.
Yeah, go. So Brian, how about do you have three stadiums? And this is for the chat too. Three stadiums you would like to go to in, you know, the football genie popped up and said, "Oh, I'll let you go to. You got three tickets, and I'll give you three tickets, away tickets to go watch a game at." What would be the three stadiums you would choose to it could be in the world too, by the way. It doesn't have to be in Europe, doesn't have to be in in England. It could be in the world. What are the three stadiums you'd want to go see the most? And say you had the experience of being there. Brian, do you have any choices?
Well, the only place I'm just trying to think. Oh well.
Oh yeah, definitely. Dustin, big up. Definitely one of those. Yeah. Oh. I don't know. Yeah, Brian, you there?
Yeah, I was just waiting.
Yeah, you want
to Dustin. Yeah. You're talking to Dustin. So.
No, I just saw Dustin's comment. Dustin's comment was about Dortmund.
Yeah.
Let's give it a shot. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Do it.
Yeah. The only place I've been is the new camp.
That's cool.
I was at. I'm just trying to think out loud here now. I was at the new Ajax stadium, which is like not brand new, but it was there like 2005, so it's newish. Saw a game there. And I saw a David Bowie concert there as well. Actually, yeah, no, that's horrible. I don't want to go back there, but I like Ajax. I was in the new camp, but that was we were just in Barcelona, and one of my mates wanted to go. I didn't really care. Like, we weren't in Barcelona for long. So wait half the day just going on a tour around the bloody stadium, like, because it did take forever. You know, it was cool and all that, but it was there was no game on. It was just a stadium tour, and half the pitch was covered. And when we got in there, like, we kind of come around like ground level, and half the pitch was covered they were setting up for a concert. And so, like, one of the goals was still up the other end, but they were setting up a stage. And then I found out U2 was playing, so we got out there really fucking quickly, just in case it started while we were still there. So that didn't enjoy that. I wouldn't really want to go back there. I'd like to go to wherever they play that big. Is it where they play the River Plate, the Boca game? That stadium, I can't remember what they call it now. The Maradona Stadium, I think. The one where, in South America.
Okay.
Not the Maracana.
South America,
the one where Boca play River when at Boca's home ground. Then one of the big, probably Istanbul. I'd want to go to one of the Istanbul derbies, like Gala versus Fenerbahce. They're just like a war. It's crazy. So that's two. I wouldn't want to go anywhere in England. Don't really care about any of them. I'd want to go to, probably That's it, I'd say. Can't think of a third one. Marseille, Velodrome in Marseille. That's another one.
Hmm. Okay.
Anywhere there'd be a big mad
Did
crazy
you come up
game, you know?
with any for yourself? What's that?
Just anywhere there'd be a big mad
Can't
crazy,
no.
like an Istanbul derby or like, the River Plate Boca game or
Yeah.
that's like the stadium wouldn't bother me too much. Like, because they're just stadiums, really. Like, I know, like, some have history and all that. Like, most of them are just
Mhm.
new, horrible. Most of them are all these new, like, bowls. Like, all the good old ones are gone, mainly. Like, even
Mm-hmm.
Anfield isn't really Anfield anymore. It's been rebuilt on top of,
Yeah, but
this kind of stuff.
yeah, but they kept it separate, each stand separate. They didn't like join it all up, so I like that
Yeah.
sort of.
I'd like to do it one, but like go to like who wants to go to the Arsenal stadium or the Man
I
City
think you're.
stadium
Yeah.
or the
Yeah.
Hold on. I think. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Realism Jared just put it in the chat for you. That's. I was supposed to say.
the Bombonera. That's the
Yeah.
one. That's the one. Thanks, Jared.
Yep.
That's the one. I knew it was
Yep.
one of those kind of funny names, cool names. Yeah, Napoli
Yeah.
as well.
That's
like
been ranked. I saw a ranking, and that was like the number one. Like they ranked all the stadiums in the world, and that was ranked number one actually. Second was the Maracana, right? It's in
Maracana.
Brazil. It's a Rio.
It's the
Brazil,
Brazilian
Rio's,
stadium. Yeah.
yeah.
It's the Maracana. It's the
Yeah.
famous one.
Yeah.
100,000 people for the 200,000 people. Back at one game they had in the 70s, I think.
Yeah. Something
200,000
ridiculous,
people in a fucking football stadium. It's just like, what?
Yeah, that's kind of nuts.
That's madness.
That is kind of nuts.
Imagine taking a penalty.
How about
the 200,000 people watching you take a penalty to win a game? Boo! So come on.
You know what I mean?
I was going to say this. Have you ever been to this game? I was going to ask you. I don't know if you've been to Scotland or not, but like, have you ever been to?
Don't ever go
the
to
stadium
Scotland.
in Glasgow.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
No, okay.
Oh God, it's so cold.
Okay.
Scotland
it's cold.
is the coldest place on the planet, man.
It is, man. It is.
Oh, it's even when
even
when the sun is shining, it's fucking cold.
Even when the sun is shining, it's still cold.
It is. I'm not joking.
I would not like that at all.
It is.
It is just that I know why those people are such an attitude now. I would if I lived up there, I'd be angry all the time.
Yeah, I just the Badger Ford Stadium, basically, right? So, how do you say it in Gaelic, Brian?
What did you say, Badger Ford?
That's what it means, Badger Ford.
What's Badger Ford?
Ibrox.
Oh, Ibrox.
Ibrox. It means
that's not Gaelic. Yeah, that's Rangers. I don't. Yeah,
okay. It says here. It says Ibrox. It means Badger. It means quote unquote Badger Ford in Gaelic.
Maybe in Scots Gaelic, but not in Irish.
Okay, maybe that's it. Yeah,
it's a different language. Well, slightly different version.
Got you.
No, I wouldn't be mad about going there. I walked into a Celtic pub once, and I got and then when I say I walked into a Celtic pub, even the floor, right? They have those. They had like a laminate floor there, and basically what they had beer mats in the place, right? And every beer mat was a Celtic one, and on the back it was like a card. There'd be a different Celtic player, like legends and all that. So whenever you got a beer mat,
right.
You'd have a different, and they actually put the whole floor was the cards. So even the floor was all Celtic players, even though you're walking on their faces. But anyway, like literally just, you couldn't look anywhere without seeing Celtic posters, Celtic flags, Celtic memorabilia. It was almost like a supporters club. And I walked in there one night, and I don't have an obviously Irish accent to people in Scotland, and this place had been really busy before a gig started. The gig started next door. It emptied. I went in when it had emptied because I got asked to leave the gig, let's just say, and we were standing out like a sore thumb, and we were getting all these looks like, "Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you?" And I was like, "Oh, how's it going? I'm from Ireland." And then it was just like, "Hey, well, how you getting on?" It was just like, but until if they were looking, he could possibly be English, and it was like, who is like, you walked into Celtic Park. And I was like, "Hi." I was like,
wow,
"Hi,
it's
my
that
name's Brian,
serious.
and I'm from Ireland. I am Irish. I am from Ireland, by the way. Did I mention I was from Ireland? I'm not English, by the way." And then everyone was like super cool to me straight away. Like, "Oh, where are you from in Ireland?" But as soon as they walked in, it's like, "You're not a Rangers fan, are you?" Because you've walked into the wrong pub if you are.
Yep. And we just got a score. Both English teams are down 1-0 at the moment.
Well, the Bayern scored, did they? All right, the City game on here.
Bayern just scored.
So
Bayern
that's
scored.
what?
I was saying how
3-2?
They're winning now, Bayern. Yeah.
Yes, 3-2. Yep.
3. Yeah. Okay, 3-2. Yeah.
3-2 Man City. Losing 3-2.
Yeah.
No, not 3-2. Was it 4-3? Yeah.
4-3. Yeah, Madrid up 1-0. Man
City
haven't looked like scoring much either.
Yep.
And it's good to have both teams
losing.
No,
they haven't. They had a couple of different runs, though.
What minute's your game, bro?
63, 52, 53, 54, 55. 64 minutes exactly.
Okay.
I'm going to show you 3. Let me get this last one here. Let's see if I can find it. It's 1-0. I'm at 64-20 in the Bayern game, and I'm at 63-50 in the City game. Just so you know.
Okay, I'm about a minute ahead, so I'm live.
Oh,
so
I don't really mind if you end up giving me
don't say anything if anything happens, Brian.
I do not really care. I wanted to show you guys. Actually, let me show you guys this real quick too. This is actually, so we were talking about stadiums. I'm going to share with you some 3 cool stadiums that since we were just talking about stadiums. Turn on, if you want to laugh, definitely turn that on. Okay, I'm going to show you guys some of these stadiums here. So this is actually a pretty cool stadium. This is in Cape Town, actually. Let me pull it up. Where this is hopefully you guys can hear me, because I know I might be a little delayed since I have a bunch of. But this is Cape Town Stadium. Super cool environment and like vibe behind it. You can obviously see the mountains behind there and everything else. Pretty cool. Holds about 57,000 people. Definitely really cool stadium. And then there was. Let me see if I can pull.
You've been South Africa.
This is called.
Have I ever been to South Africa?
I was.
JK.
I was going to go for the World Cup, but I ended up not going. I ended up not being able to get my passport all set up and visa for the trip.
Yeah, I got cousins living there.
Okay.
Yeah, they love it, but I don't know. It's not somewhere I ever wanted to visit. Like apparently, like everyone keeps telling how amazing it is, but I grew up in the 80s. Like, I don't know if I want to go there, man.
Now I'm going to bring up everyone else's selections too. But I'm going to show you this one too. This is a super cool one. This is in Norway. Pretty cool stadium. This is called the Henningsvær Stadion.
I've seen that.
It's in Norway, but there's only. It's a small. Obviously you can see there's really not going to be that much of a crowd watching this game, but because it only holds 500 people. But
it's barely even a stadium. It's just a pitch, basically.
yeah, pretty much like a pitch, glorified pitch. And then if you want to talk about, what's that?
I was saying that's Norway. Like, yeah, there's a few like that in Norway, the Faroes, like, because they have all those little islands and shit. There's a couple like that. I've seen that one before, definitely. But imagine playing out there on a windy day.
Yeah.
Trying to.
Yeah, imagine if the ball goes long
and just keeps going. I'd say it gets in the sea.
Yeah.
Put too much on it for a corner.
Have a screen around the field, so that's just gone.
Yeah, imagine a bit of bad weather up there. Come on, lads. Rain would be coming in sideways, blowing off the pitch.
Yeah. End up in the water. Yeah.
If you want to see, this one's pretty cool too. This one's in Singapore, and it holds 27,000 people. I'll show you this one. Hold on. This one's called The Float.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically like, it's like, consists of steel platform. It's in the bay. It's in the marina, basically. And
you could nick that. You could nick that.
Yeah.
Imagine that someone just unties it, just towing it off down the river. I can imagine they show up one day and it's just gone. They check the footage and it's
someone rolls up in a tugboat and just pulls off.
Someone nicked it. Yeah, that's crazy.
Buckle up, you're going for a ride.
Is that like stands? I can't see. Is that stands on the land?
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
It holds 27,000 people.
That's a mad view, isn't it?
Yeah. That would be a pretty cool view, though. I'll make it. I'll make the.
Who plays? Is that an actual pro team that plays there? Like, are they in the league? Singapore is crazy. Singapore is totally crazy.
Yeah. So that's the pitch. 27,000. So 27,000 all sitting on the coastline. A multi-purpose outdoor venue. It regularly hosts the Singapore National Day Parade, as well as sporting events and musical events too.
Oh, you can see a concert there.
Yeah, got a regular. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can imagine a concert. Yeah, a band with that back. That's made for concerts. Totally. Yeah, that's so cool, man. Yeah, that's how you make use of like those countries that have no space.
Yeah.
Like if you ever go to Holland, like that's why I went to loads of stuff where I lived over in Holland for a while, and they mastered the art of like just cramming tons of shit into really small spaces.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go in Holland, they don't waste an inch of space.
Yeah.
Especially in cities, they have like even a wall, like 2 feet wide of a wall. They'll make like a vending machine. Like there's loads of where you can just walk up to stuff on the street and put a coin in and lift it up and take it out yourself. They don't waste any space. It's mad.
Oh yeah,
that's so cool. Like, have you seen Apocalypse Now? You've all seen Apocalypse Now, right?
Yeah, sure.
You know where that bit where they're all like where they're having a concert, and you see it roll out on that stage in the lake. Mm-hmm. All the GIs are watching it. They're all performing on a stage out in the lake. Yeah, that reminds me of that. That'd be so cool at night with a band out on the water.
Yeah, that's it's a pretty dope stadium. 27,000 people too. There's I don't have a picture for you guys for this one, but there's let me see if I can show you a picture. There's one Daegu Stadium in South Korea. Pretty cool. Or even
the Braga Stadium is pretty cool. The Braga one. Braga in Portugal.
Yeah,
that's a cool stadium. One side of it's just big. It's just a mountain, the face of the mountain, and then it's just the pitch right there.
Yeah.
For a top flight stadium,
it gets to like pretty. Like I like stadiums with like scenic views and stuff like that behind it, and or stadiums like this, like you were just saying. How, like, imagine don't come to Ireland to watch football. Like, as in, you could basically. I mean, if you lived in one of those high rises, you can basically.
That's what I was going to say. Like for 27,000 people.
You
were saying like it. Yeah, you could just go and stand on the road. Like over there by the thing. You could just stand there and watch it. I don't think you necessarily have to. You'd only have to pay for a seat.
Yeah. Yep. You're not even pay for that's why that's what I would like to be pretty cool. Where else is there?
Get that penthouse view, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder how much those places. I mean, it's expensive to live in Singapore.
Singapore.
As is, I can only imagine there being one of those high rises there.
By the water. Wow. Yeah. That's pricey real estate right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Easily.
Man City's struggling.
They're not. One. Man City's definitely struggling, people. So I mean, like, yeah, there is netting on the sides. By the way, MK Toe, there is. You're right. They have like the difference with this one. You can kind of see it, but they have nets around the entire because they have nets inside around the 3/4 of the pitch. I think I don't know if they have it on the front part where the people would watch the game from, because I guess you could just throw the ball back if it goes into the crowd. But
a hell of a long throw you need.
One of the coolest things. Huh?
That's a hell of a long throw you'd need to get it back from that from the stands to the pitch.
Yeah.
You're doing pretty well.
Yeah, it would suck to be the ball boy. Yeah, it would definitely suck to be the ball boy in that one, man. A lot of running around. In the other one that I showed earlier with the 500 in Norway, you best know how to swim, I guess.
Yeah, you need a dinghy.
Ball boy.
Ball boy in his wetsuit.
Exactly. Well, that's how it's funny. So for the San Francisco Giants is a baseball team, right? And when it's on the bay, obviously the stadium's right by the bay, very similar to this. And if there's a home run, sometimes the ball goes actually into the bay.
Nice.
And there's people in little kayaks or little boats that just hang out in boats the entire game, waiting for home runs to come out, and they'll paddle over and get the ball from the water. It's pretty cool. Get a little keepsake for themselves.
Well, I suppose you got to do something on it.
Thinking of it. What's that?
I suppose you got to do something on a Sunday afternoon. You may as well go and catch baseballs or fish, both.
Yeah. Yeah. I know, they're probably out there fishing and getting it in. Yeah. But 75th minute in both of these games, basically.
Oh, they're back in it. It's 1-1.
Okay.
Kevin De Bruyne.
KD Mofo B.
4-4.
Wow. It hasn't happened on my screen yet, so I'm going to watch it happen. See what Brian was just talking about. Oh, wow. He must be really ahead of me because they're still doing the build-up for this.
They brought Daco on, and he's after making the difference.
Yeah.
Bit of a mistake there by Rudiger, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, Rudiger. It was. Say the least. Wow.
Great finish though over his head on.
Kevin the Ginger. Yeah. Yeah. Kevin the Ginger. That's funny.
But yeah, MK Toe is our official our man in Singapore. He's from the capital.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah, he knows it. He knows it. He said it's mainly.
MK Toe is in Singapore.
No,
that's
cool.
He's.
Well, he said, "Yeah, I'm Singaporean." Hello, yeah, definitely.
That's super cool.
Oh, they're getting rid of it soon.
MK Toe, have you ever been to that? Did he say? Has he ever been to it, Brian? Did you see if he said that?
He's just saying they use it mainly for parades and official stuff. It's not a FIFA. He's saying it's not a kind of official stadium, but he's saying they're getting rid of it. Like I said, you could probably just tow it off down the river. No one would ever know. Well, they don't, like I said, until they got there. heist of the
Oh, okay,
century.
that's cool too. I see that F1. The F1 goes in front of the tracks, in front of the stands, right there.
Yeah, that's part. Like the F1 goes all around that little bit there. You can see comes back around like they do all anywhere they do that now. If they can, they'll do it around like a bay area because it looks so cool when they do it at night. Like there's nothing better than night Grand Prix. Like I don't really like Formula One anymore because it's gone really crappy. But they do a lot of stuff where they do it at nighttime with all the lights on and that. It's really cool. Really, like they do it when they do in Western Asia, especially, or when they do it in the Far East. They tend to do night games. Jesus, he nearly did it again. De Bruyne nearly did it again.
I wonder if they're MK2, if they're going to make something bigger. Are they going to make something bigger, as in more? They're going to keep that basic concept, or are they going to make something bigger in the sense of they're going to like, you know, make a stadium in a round or something, where maybe like it extends onto the actual water or something. I don't know. Mostly a parade square. That's super cool.
Bringing on Modric. Real.
Yeah,
4-4. 4-4.
4-4 in this match, and City is starting to warm up under the brilliance of KDB. I feel like every time I say KDB, it's like Bell Biv DeVoe almost in my mind, in a sense. That sounds like BBD. They're bringing in. Looks like they're going to bring in Modric.
They are, yeah, for Toni Kroos.
So, wow. Might go into extra time, or are we going to get the winner here in regulation?
I reckon there'll be a winner in this. Yeah. There is. I wouldn't like to call who it is. It's more likely City at the moment, but Real Madrid, you know how many times have they done this before? Pep's nervous. Yeah, we all would be.
He should be. Up.
What's happening in the Bayern game, JK?
Jesus almost just had a 1-on-1 with the goalie and missed it.
Still 1-0 there, yeah?
Oh, he was way off. He was all sides anyway, though. He was all sides.
The Arsenal game, 1-0.
1-0, yeah. Yeah. One of the cool things about the streaming service I have is that you can either watch one of the games individually, or you can do the multicast. And obviously there's only 2 games today, so it's a lot easier to watch both games, but they have a multicast. I think it's up to 8 games, I want to say. 4 or 8 games, something like that. And they'll put like all of, depending on when the, like how many games are playing at the same time, they'll put all the games on the screen for you. But just you'll know that you'll hear the commentary of one of the games, but it's usually whichever game is highlighted on here. So right now they're giving the commentary from the City Real game. And
I could only watch one. I couldn't watch more than one game at a time. I don't know how people do that. It's crazy.
No.
I know people watch loads of them. Oh, he's missed another one. He's missed. He's nearly in again. That's 2 now.
Jeez, he is
a big miss. That is a big miss.
Go to the bookies, brother. You got guys in there who can watch 10 games at once.
Oh, I know those boys. Yeah. And,
you go to this. Yeah, you got to
have 2 horse races. Yeah, and have 2 horse races in their ear as well. Listening
he knows
to
his missus is gonna batter him if he loses it all. He's watching every screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just saw the strike that you're talking about.
They don't look convincing, you know. It's theirs for the taking because they're at home and they've got players, but Real Madrid are kind of run out of steam a little bit, so they should probably nick this. I reckon they will nick it.
There's enough time.
There is enough time.
Yeah,
There's certainly enough time.
But the Real are just kind of. I don't think they're meaning to, but they can't get the ball. They're not trying to win it. They're dropping massively deep. They're kind of
Yeah, I
asking
know.
for it a little bit.
ADB looking more like LFC. Yeah, for sure. According to Reels and Jarrett, with that miss, the miss.
But JK, you were here. I heard it earlier on. If Darwin left tomorrow and we had to buy a new striker, but you could only buy from a Premier League club, from a current team.
Mm-hmm.
Who and let's just say Haaland is off the table.
Haaland, yeah.
If he's off the table, right? There's no Haaland, right? So if Darwin left, we need a new number, but you can only buy from the current Premier League teams. Which striker would you bring in?
I'm going Watkins.
Ollie Watkins, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What's unique about that is that, you say Ollie Watkins, but how old is Ollie Watkins?
He is
27?
He's mid-20s anyway, yeah. 20s, I guess 26.
I think he's 27.
Something like that. He's...
yeah, probably about 27, I think.
Yeah, he's been around a while now. He's been at 3 clubs.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's been at Villa for a while now as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, Brentford bought him. Brentford bought Ivan Toney to replace him.
Right.
When they sold him to Villa.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how long he's been. Yeah, he must be that age. Yeah, I'd say 26. Yeah, he's younger than Tony. Tony's older than Tony's pretty football in terms.
He's old too. He's like 20.
He's 29 maybe. No,
yeah,
Tony's older than that.
20,
he's at least 28. He's at least 28. Tony's been around. Like I remember when Ivan Toney. I remember not Football Manager. I remember fantasy football when Ivan Toney was at Newcastle. Yeah, and he was a £4.5 million striker that never played. But that's how long he's around. And he went to Peterborough since then. Then he went somewhere else. Then he got a move to Brentford. And it was like he's been around a long time. And even Dom Solanke is like he's not 22. He's been around. He's probably the youngest of a lot of them, maybe around 25. And they're all English as well. That's the other mad thing. Those 3 guys, all English strikers. Watkins, Toney, Solanke, probably the 3 after Darwin, after Haaland.
But all those players are all in that 28. They're like 4 or 5 years older than Darwin.
No, it's not about Darwin. Please get off the Darwin defense. I just forget Darwin's left, right? He's left the building. He's left the building. He doesn't exist.
He left it for you.
I'm not saying it's a It's a fun trivia question. It's a fun little question to pass the time. I know how old they are. It's not a comparison. It's not a dig. It's not a jibe. You don't need to defend them. It's just saying Darwin doesn't exist. Right?
I'm not. You can say that. I'm not saying that. But go ahead.
Okay, no, I won't play. Oh, forget it. Okay, if you're not able to wrap your head around the idea that Darwin doesn't exist for the fun of it for 2 minutes, then cool, that's fine. I don't want to offend your love of Darwin so much that you can't pretend just for 2 minutes that
for just for 2 minutes. Enjoy the hypothetical.
I'm not asking you to kill him or wipe him off the planet. I'm just saying if Darwin wasn't our player and we were looking for a number 9, who would you buy? I got Watkins, so I'm not going to bother asking you because you just give me 10 minutes of why Darwin is brilliant. It's fine. That's cool.
Oh, no, I didn't actually hear that part of the question, but yeah.
Who are you going with 12?
If it was, if Darwin wasn't an option, obviously. That's a very good question.
The thing, it's not a Darwin. It's not about Darwin.
I mean,
It's about
this
who
obvious
would you
answer.
buy?
Yeah, I'd rather have Holland, but I mean, like,
No, he's off the. I said he's off the table.
oh, he's off the table too.
Yeah,
Okay.
because he's too obvious. He's too, like, I'm just trying to make the question is to make the point about how shit all the rest of the strikers in the Premier League are.
Yeah,
It's not a dig at Darwin.
That's based. That was
I
some
know.
of the.
I know we can't say anything about Darwin without it being conceived as a dig at Darwin, because this is the insane world we live in right now. But it's just the point about the next best in the Premier League.
No. If anything, that was some of the reasoning behind some of the earlier questioning I had about, or earlier statements I had about how a lot of times a lot of these players are so high, like the price tag on a lot of these players is so incredibly high, but are they that level of a player? Like, why are we like, as in, it's not like we're talking about, oh, this guy's like a Luis Suarez or something like that, or it's like these guys are getting these price tags put onto them, and it's like, but I just don't know if any of these strikers are worthy of the price tags that they have, tagged to them. And I think that sometimes the concept of them, the concept of, oh, you're going to spend $100 million on Victor or what's the dude that plays for Juventus now? He was
Vlahovic.
I'm talking about, the striker for Juventus. He's
Vlahovic.
Who is it?
Vlahovic.
Yeah. Are you big on him still or no?
I never saw him play, really. He played for Fiorentina, then he went to Juve. So,
well, I know he was like a big. He was like a very.
He was supposed to go to Arsenal. They wanted Arsenal.
I mean, he was in a lot of talks about going to Arsenal. He's in a lot of talks about being like, another 80, 90, if not 100 million euro striker. It's a lot.
Oof. Well, it looks like this might be going to extra time.
It might. Think of who I would go for. I'm looking at Mbappe's off the list, I guess, too, right? Yeah, I don't know.
Unless he signed for Brentford without me noticing yet.
Yeah. Oh, you said, it has to be English? It has to be English striker, right? Is that what you said? I didn't hear the whole question. I'm sorry.
I don't think you heard any of the questions, to be honest, at this stage, man. To be honest with you, I think you missed the entire
I know.
Because you were reacting to all the wrong things on it. I never said that you were getting. I was like, I never said any of that. And now you went, no, basically, like, let's just pretend in a parallel universe, Darwin doesn't exist, and we're buying a number 9, and you can only buy a number 9 who is currently playing in the Premier League.
In the Prems.
That's it. No other caveats. It's just he must be currently at a Premier League club in the year of our Lord 2024 right now.
Got you.
Oh, he's off on one. Oh, he's not.
What, something's happened?
Oh, no, I just thought someone just got smashed in the face. 4 minutes extra time, 1 played. Yeah, I think it's. Could we see penalties? I don't think we're going to see.
I don't know if I was going to go. I don't think I would go Colt. I wouldn't go Palmer. He's not necessarily.
No, striker. Strikers. No, strikers. Palmer's not
striker.
It's not even. Yeah, no,
okay.
like an undebatably a striker.
Yeah, man. You know what? It's sad, but I can't think of. I'm trying to think of someone else in the Prem that I'm like, I would maybe. Jeez, the Prem is, that's pretty sad.
Yeah.
I'll probably go with Tony, I guess.
JK went with Watkins.
Yeah. I like Watkins. He's turning out to be a good player. Mm, I mean, like I don't. I think Hoyland is just another version of Darwin in essence of just like pace and chaos.
I haven't seen a lot of
Uh,
it. I'd be with you. I'd be if I was forced to be doing it. I'd even regardless. Yeah, the age wouldn't be ideal, but I'd probably go for Tony as well.
mhm.
I think he'd probably. I forget all the it is part of that universe, so he doesn't have any betting problems.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
I've never liked Ollie Watkins. He is having probably if he has a better season than this, he'll be doing well. Like
Right,
even if he
right.
goes to a bigger club,
Oh,
and
you
he
know
has
who I might go
numbers
with?
wise.
You know who I might go with? Brighton's young talent.
Oh, Evan Ferguson. Yeah, he's been injured now for
Yeah,
a good while. But before
yeah. I
that,
think he's got an upside to his game.
oh, he was all the rage. 80 million to Man United, 100 million to Liverpool next season, all that stuff. But
Yeah,
he's a proper number 9. He's a goal scorer. But
he's a goal scorer. Yeah.
he got a big injury, big setback,
Mm-hmm.
just as he was coming. So next season, fully fit, playing week
We'll
in, week
see.
out,
Yeah,
hopefully
can
you'll
he
see him.
replicate it? Yeah.
Yeah, but all that talk of stupid money moves has died down now, thankfully. But he does look like a serious prospect.
Yeah,
I'm not going
I'd
to say he
probably
looks
go
like the
with
real
him as
deal, but
theme because I, I just for like the sheer fact of his age comparatively to Tony, like you'll get. I mean, Tony's what again? He's like 28, 29 years old or something around there. So there's only going to be so many years that you're going to get out of production of, or that kind of like.
oh yeah, I'm working on a 2-year time frame here.
Okay.
So it's not it's just for the immediacy. It's like Ferguson again. It'd be someone you'd be buying and waiting and yada yada. You could bring in
Mhm.
someone like Tony. The Liverpool team creates chances. Probably scores you 50 goals over 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Makes a difference.
Yeah.
But then it's just that like we're saying
Can I go with
like
Son maybe then?
no, he's not
No,
number
but
9.
I
It's like
can't
the
do that.
managers. It's like the managers. Like all the you were saying like there's no proven managers out. There's no big manager. All new, up and coming young managers. Same with strikers. Same with goal scorers. A lot of them are
Mhm.
kind of you're waiting. Basically, everyone's kind of waiting for the next wave to come through.
Yeah.
We have like a Tony and a Watkins who are kind of
Mhm.
mid-career in Tony and latter career or mid-career for Watkins and mid to latter career for someone like Tony. And then you got say an Evan Ferguson and a Hoyland and to a degree a Darwin 23, in the
Mhm.
younger bracket. But I think we're waiting for the next generation of goal scorers to come along
Mhm.
because even even tonight, there's Real Madrid, they got Rodrigo, they got Vinny. It's really only when Mbappe goes there, he'll start putting up numbers. But even he's not a classic number 9.
No.
He does number 9 numbers, but even you wouldn't call him a classic number 9. So
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole thing. There's no there's no real. There's not many classic number 9s.
Haaland is the out and out. If anyone wants to know what that means, it's Haaland.
Yeah.
A guy who barely
Yeah.
touches the ball and is big and strong and powerful, has a brilliant shot on him, isn't the
Yep.
world's most skillful player,
Yep.
but is an elite level finisher, even though he's been quiet and all of that. That's your out and out number 9.
Yeah.
If he's unable to drop deep, I don't care. I don't want that. You just want to, oh, hey, Bernie. Bernie's
Yeah.
good old Bernie.
Laughing at Stefano's comment. Getting hypothetical answers
answers.
from 12th is like getting blood from a stone.
Yeah, but Stefano, my friend, tell me the fuck about it.
Yeah, there you go.
Seriously,
trying to.
I have
Well,
gotten blood from that stone. On occasion, I have managed to get blood from that stone, but it does take an enormous amount of energy. So it's like
yeah.
running a marathon. You can probably only do it once a month, but eventually you do get some answers
There
if
you
you put
go. There you go.
enough.
There you go.
But
I'm giving you a couple of answers, hypotheticals. I can get my answers.
yeah.
That's
What did you finish
reason,
on? Oh,
full
you finished
circle.
on Evan Ferguson. Yeah, you finished on Evan Ferguson. Okay,
Yeah,
so we got three. We got three
yeah.
then. We got Ollie Watkins from JK. We got
Mhm.
Ivan Toney from me. And we got Evan Ferguson. Well, you were on Toney first. Then you
First,
went
but then
to
I
you went
thought about it
to
more.
Evan
Yeah,
Ferguson.
yeah.
I like Cunha. I like the lad Cunha at Wolves, but I'm not sure entirely. Like he is playing there as a striker,
Mhm.
but I don't think he's an out and out striker. But he's putting up incredible numbers.
Yeah.
I had him in my fantasy team there a while ago before anyone did because I saw him score a goal, and I needed a punt
Mm-hmm.
for 2 weeks, just someone to throw in randomly. And they had 2 good games coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I never took him out every single week. He kept either getting a goal or assist or a goal or assist. I was like, Jesus Christ, like this guy was a cheap little player to put in. And then he got his injury. He come back from his injury. He's already scored twice in one game, admittedly. But this guy is really going under the radar in the Premier League. Brazilian striker. Well, 9.5, whatever he is. But
I'm
quietly,
surprised no one really gave a shot for. I mean, he's not out. He's not like your outright number 9, but like
no, I haven't seen
Julian
enough of
Alvarez.
him.
Julian. I was gonna say Julian
Oh,
Alvarez.
Alvarez. Oh, yeah, he's a number. He's a real 9.5. He's a
Yeah.
real, but he could play. I think like he's just been brought on. They took off Haaland, by the way. They took Haaland off. They need a goal to go through, and they took off Haaland.
Wow. Okay.
That is a hell of a call.
Yeah.
That is a massive call.
Massive call, to say the least.
I wouldn't be surprised if it works tactically because, like Alvarez or Haaland, I mean, Pep clearly, like I said, he'd rather have 10 David Silvas than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'm sure Ancelotti should probably be more worried now that Haaland is off and Alvarez is on because that changes what they can do. I would. That's much more of a Pep team with Alvarez up front in it and people working off him. Haaland is easy to defend against if you're a very good defender because they did a whole piece on the Irish TV there with Delaney, one of the Irish central defenders, talk about how Rudiger basically marked Haaland out of the game the last couple of times they played. He said he totally had his number. He just nullified him. And he said it was really good because he was going into all this detail saying like, this is basically crazy what Rudiger is doing because no coach would teach a central defender to do what he's doing. He's dropping off. The way he was dropping off and even Haaland's space and doing that is like, it's working and it's working brilliantly. But you can tell this is how good this Rudiger guy is because he's clearly taken that upon himself to know. Yeah, because he said no coach in the world would teach a young player. That's how he's like, no, you need to do this. He's adjusted to the situation brilliantly. He's like, that Rudiger guy doesn't get enough credit. He is world-class centre-half. He said he's just marked this guy out of the game, doing things that basically no other coach would tell him to do. He's just marked him out of the game, made him like nullified him. And so he's been taken off. And you can see it tonight. He did nothing, basically, and gets taken off. And Rudiger is on the pitch again. So he won't want to see Alvarez. He was probably much happier marking Haaland than having to deal with this tricky little Alvarez dude. So this might be a good switch for City.
It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, you take off again. Is this going to be a case of? Is this going to be a case of?
K-Mac brought up one that we did forget about. Actually, is Isaac, and he's excellent.
Yeah,
but K-Mac, the lad is made of biscuits. We know he's just. You just know. We buy Isaac. His injury record already would drive you mad. And if he came to Liverpool, And if he was out for 6 games and then he's back 4, then he's out for 7 games. Look at his injury record this season.
Mhm.
Unbelievable player. Him in form, absolutely brilliant. But again, you get unlucky with him. If you get unlucky with Isak, he could miss 6 months. If you get lucky, he only misses 10 games.
This is why sometimes when I hear the shouts, I'm like, availability helps. The same people that are talking about, Thiago and everything else and his availability. It's sometimes funny that they don't include the same energy when it comes to other players that just aren't available. They'd be great to have, but it's just if they're not able to play, then it kind of takes away their potency.
Every time he does, he gets a run of games going, a bit of form going. He's a world beater. Absolutely, he's a world beater. He can dribble past people. He can shoot. He can score. He can bend the ball. He can hit it with power. He can score little tap-ins. He is world class when he's at his best. At the moment, in terms of what we have at the moment, definitely better than all of those players. He's better than Watkins. He's better than Solanke. He's better than Tony. But then, he's out for 2 months. Then he's out again. It's a huge risk and I think that's probably why Newcastle
and rely on that as being It's kind of like saying, look, Danny Ings is a good number 9. He's a good forward. I think he is a
player. Oh, he's a great little player when he's fit and firing. He gets goals.
When he's fit.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he's had a history of injuries.
Yeah, you put him in a team like Burnley or West Ham, and you've seen what happens if he stays fit. Yeah. He'll score like in an average side, in an average Premier League side, he'll score 15 goals in a league goals in a season, which ain't to be sniffed at all. 15 league goals is not, average. And he would do that at a kind of a middling club. 12 at least, a fully fit. He's a great little Premier League striker, but he's not elite. And then
it's like,
super fit.
Would you even go as far as to say, there's often the case when, just speaking on Haaland at least, do you think that Haaland is a complete striker, a complete forward, I guess you could say? Or do you just think he's just in essence, a striker, quote unquote?
He's the complete number 9. Yeah.
Okay.
He's the complete number 9, yeah. If by my criteria for a number 9, he has, everything, absolutely everything.
But I mean, like, he's not exactly like I'll have to bring. Let me see if I can bring it up. Actually, I'm trying to think where I did make it on here. So, so close to getting scored on there. Because Ronaldo did an 11 or R9, excuse me, did his ultimate 11 or ultimate 11. Of course, he had himself as being the number 9 as well, but
number 11 and number 8 and number 6 and in goal.
And one of the reasons why I'm bringing that up is because there's a lot of interpretations of what a number 9 is for today, because again, it goes back full circle to what I was kind of saying too about the number 9 and how it's kind of gotten into playing a different role and emphasis of importance on the pitch. Like for us, for instance, our number 9s, obviously you don't have a false 9, but and when we had Bobby at least, and we look for more of our scoring to come from the inside forwards that we utilized on the wings. But what
he meets my criteria though. If you're talking about, I don't know what other people would consider a number 9, but if you're asking me what I consider a number 9,
right,
I would say he's going to be. If other people think it's, an interpretation of it is different. But if you're asking about like when you say to people, oh, like a number 9, when you say the number 9, that kind of defines the question. It kind of says, you know, there's no need to say, oh, this or that. It's like as a number 9, and we all know what a number 9 is. It means basically a goal scorer. That's when people ask that wide question. They basically mean a number 9, a goal scorer. If you want to get into, well, when I say number 9, I mean a player who does this, and this. But in a just kind of a loose, very general, to me, a complete number 9 is someone who has strength, has pace, is a goal scorer, is good in the air, has good link-up play, and is an excellent finisher. That's it. That's what a number 9 is to me. If we want to go into it, but if you're asking me, why do you call him a complete number 9? I was saying, because that's what I think a number 9 that's what I'm calling it. So for me, he is the complete number 9. If you wanted to change it, he'd be massively deficient in lots of other areas, like his passing, dribbling.
That's what I was going to get at. Is that like as in the interpretation of a number 9 in, let's say, Brazil terms, or even South American terms, is a little bit different than the European concept of a number 9. That's what I was going to get at, because R9 was one of the most incredible dribblers on the ball, I think.
But he was a complete number 9 as well.
Right, but he's a complete number 9 that has skill sets that Holland doesn't even come close to having.
Yeah, but there were still center forwards, if you know what I mean. They never played on the left. They never played on the right. They never dropped deep. Even Harry Kane, you could ask, is he even a number 9? You see him at Tottenham, half the time he'd be playing in midfield. Right. Kind of quarterbacking from kind of a quasi number 10 position. But if, you'd have a kind of a list for me of like a striker, what my striker should be doing. The thing is, like, if he can also do the Ronaldo stuff, then you've got El Fenomeno on your hands. So it's,
one of my favorite strikers was Luca Toni. We spoke about this, right?
Yeah, Luca's an out number 9.
He's like what you consider to be just like, you're not looking for him to necessarily, do the flicks and tricks or anything like that. You're just looking for him to score. Basically, that's his one and only biggest attribute should be scoring, and that's what he did.
Yeah. Like flicks and tricks are fine, but you need him to hold position. Like he doesn't need to be a system player. He needs to be just, like an Inzaghi, or like in England, you'd say the Luca Toni in England would be like, with Alan Shearer would be, the quintessential out and out striker, number 9. But wasn't just,
you didn't say like someone. He's not exactly the greatest of examples, but you could say like Andy Carroll, maybe.
Again, a pure 9, exactly. Someone who would never going to end up being asked to play on the left. Never going to be asked to play.
You're not going to say, "Hey, Andy, play as a left wing or play as a right winger."
Exactly.
We're going to stick you in as a left mid or something.
That's the easiest way to define it, I think. It's someone who you can never. Is just only ever going to play in that center forward position.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, never getting. Yeah, like you're not asking Andy Carroll to do a job anywhere, but there, that's it. Oh, Vinny is down. Vinny Jr. doesn't look good for Vinny Jr. That'll be a big loss now. Hang on, what happened here? You never know.
I have to see what you're talking about. They just kicked the ball out for a corner.
Kyle Walker, 33, beating Vinny Jr. for pace? No, he's okay.
No, I see what you're saying.
He's okay.
I think he might have. Maybe he went down on frustrations. Oh, he's pointing at his groin though.
Doesn't look at who's coming on there. Oh, Lucas Vasquez. Oh, he's shite.
Yeah, it looks like his hammy might be gone.
Yeah, Lucas Vasquez is not a good player, man. That's a poor substitution to have to make.
Is that all they have on the bench to replace him?
I thought he might have been coming on. I think he was already coming on.
Oh, and then they just possibly said, okay, well, we'll just make adjustments.
So who came off? Yeah, they have Hoselu on the bench. Yeah, the same guy.
Let's about take a look at who they have on the bench here.
They've already brought on a couple as well. They don't have Bellingham's down now as well.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't think their bench isn't as loaded as you would think, I guess, huh?
I know. No, I saw it earlier. It's not top quality. It's
not exactly the greatest of qualities.
Like they have that young wonder kid, the Turkish guy, Arda Güler.
Yeah.
I can't imagine he's going to come on at this stage. He's only a
he's 19-year-old midfielder, left footer.
Yeah, a little Mudryk type, a little the next Messi, the next this, the next that, one of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
But highly talented.
Currently at £12.4 million player value. Could be more, could be less. I get that, but that's what my source is telling me here. My app source.
He's there was him and the other kid you like. What's his name? Kubo and.
Oh, okay, Kubo.
Yeah, very similar type of profile. Very similar type of player.
Oh, okay. I would love if we got Kubo. I did hear something about this Arda guy too, though. The Turkish, as you said, the Turkish Messi.
The new Turkish, like the
as if there was a Turkish Messi before him.
Oh, there'll have been a few. I'll remember one now in a minute. Yeah, there wasn't.
Who's the Turkish Messi for him? Because
I'll just try. I'm trying to remember. I remember. Oh yeah, that's right. Lovely. He just sent Bernardo. Yeah, flying like we'd all love to.
Then the rat flying.
He's a hardworking bastard.
I'll tell you this much though. This is not what we expected from Real Madrid in the sense of them chasing the game. A lot of chasing the game here.
No, Jared is saying that they're okay to be body Bellingham. He did. He came in and he bodied him, and then Bernardo Silva came in and followed it up.
Oh, I just saw him get bodied by the boards there. Yeah, it's a big boy. Who was that took him down? Silva?
I think that was Ferland Mendy.
Okay.
Go on, turn. Unlucky.
I'm only seeing 2 minutes worth of extra time here being put on the clock. 30 shots to 6. City are making Madrid look like Brentford. I know, man. That's so interesting. I would put in a offer for that Arda guy.
What's the score in the other game?
Other game's done.
What happened?
Bayern won.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why I said bye-bye Ars.
Oh, I missed it. Did it finish 1-0, did it?
Yep.
Oh, that's disappointing, Arsenal. You should have maybe tried to do an old goal there or something.
Mm-hmm.
Might have come in handy. I mean, if you're going to go out, but don't go out on a blank. I mean,
on a blank, yeah. Yeah, on a blank. I'll tell you some of the stats from that game, actually. Just pretty. I mean, Arsenal.
Oh.
It wasn't like Arsenal or Bayern controlled it at any particular moment. But
that could have been the game right there. Who the hell is that? Is that Ferland Mendy again?
It was. They each had 3 shots on target, but total shots 15, 8 shots for Arsenal. Oh my gosh, dude! I see what you're saying. That was Rudiger.
Yeah.
That was Rudiger. Yeah.
Where was Adel Trapt from? Where's he from? Adel Trapt is Algerian, I think. Yeah. Yeah, Adel Trapt is Algerian, but I think where was he from? Where'd he go? Like he came from QPR when he went where? I don't understand the question. But yeah, he's Algerian.
He's not Algerian. He's Moroccan.
Moroccan, sorry. Yeah, I knew it was. Yeah, I know he's Moroccan. Yeah, that guy, man. If he wanted to be, he could have been one of the best players of all time.
Mm-hmm.
He had more skill, more ability than 90% of the players he ever played with, even in the Premier League.
Yeah.
But his attitude just absolutely stank the place out.
Isn't he like 35 years old or 30, 34, 35, something like that?
No, if he's still playing, he must be. He's not much younger.
He still
than me.
plays. He plays in
probably in Egypt,
Saudi Arabia.
He's in Saudi. Yeah, he had one unbelievable season at QPR. When he actually turned it on every week. They played him like in a DM role. They started playing him a DM role from Morocco as well. Seriously, just one of these guys, touch and technique and ability, absolutely off the charts. Seriously, like one of those guys where you talk about the best player in training and all that. This guy be doing ridiculous stuff, but just the attitude just stank. He just caused trouble, falling out with people, just really looking at him like the guys that would be playing with him, like, you know, especially at teams like QPR, because he always went to shitty teams because his attitude stank. There must have been guys in training going, I would, not give you a right arm, because, you know, but you know what I'm saying, they'd give you a right arm for half of his ability, just to be able to do half of what he could do naturally with the ball. And he's just there showing up late or going on, you know, going off on holidays or doing whatever it was he'd do. And these guys, they're having to work their arse off, and he could just show up and be the best player in training without even trying. It'd drive you mad, like. You know, if you just applied yourself, you'd be one of the best out there. But some of those North African players recently have come through. Salah, Mahrez, brilliant, really skillful players.
I was just going to look at here. Yeah, I saw that someone just put in there that Arsenal's next game is against the Wolves. And Wolves are unfortunately not on the best form as of late. In their last 5 games, they've lost 3 and drawn twice. Their draws have come from Burnley and Forest. Not good.
I think that was when Cunha is back for 2 of those games. He scored twice against Forest in that 2-2.
Okay. Is Pedro? Is he?
He was injured as well. He's back. They're having a great season,
right?
They're having. I picked them. I remember doing a load of you know, everyone was doing the tier ranking thing before the season started for who was going up and who was staying down. And everybody had Wolves going down.
Was this before they got their coach or
no? This before. No, O'Neill was in at this stage, but before the season had kicked off, and I was like, I can't see it. Like everybody's like, oh no, they're screwed. They're done. I was like, look at the players they have. Right. So I thought they were like, I didn't think they were going to do brilliantly, but everyone's like, oh no, they're done now. They're gone. They're finished. It's yada yada yada. I was like, I'm not so sure. You know, he's a brilliant coach, that guy. You know, not saying he'll ever get a big job or anything, but that's some of the players they have.
They were talking about there were rumors out there that he might be asked to do the Man U coaching gig.
Jesus, Doku's just tried to dribble past half of Madrid. Yeah, probably a step too far for him at the moment, but I think he should go up again.
Yeah,
and then
I don't
go
know
up again.
why anyone would want to go for the Man U job. To be honest, that's such a toxic job.
It's a good sales job to get someone in there now. That's why I half believe the Southgate stuff, because it really is
more of a name.
It's a hard sell.
Yeah,
he'd bite your hand off for that job. I mean, we're losing limbs all over the place here. We're giving away arms, we're getting our hands bitten off. But don't worry, he would walk in there tomorrow. I think you would see an actual mutiny in Manchester if that guy got the job. I think
for sure.
Almost for the first time in my life, I would almost feel sorry for Man United fans.
Right.
Almost. No chance.
He says, you take United job, career takes 2 steps back.
Jesus, look at this guy. Look at this guy coming on.
I think the United job is like basically the electric slide.
Keep an eye on your TV now. Check out this lad coming on from Madrid.
Okay. It hasn't. I'm just at the he just went down for the injury.
Yeah, he's like the bloody Sistine Chapel. Militao might be. I think it might be Militao.
Yeah, Bernadette says Portugal. Oh, wow, jeez.
See what I mean?
Wow.
Fucking Prison Break over here.
No, I was going to say Yakuza or something.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I know. Did he
fall
asleep?
Yeah, the tattoos.
Like, keep going.
What we're talking about.
Yeah. He just fell asleep in the chair, and the tattoo guy just kept going.
He's like,
do some stuff.
Yeah, he told the tattoo guy, "Hey, you know what? Have some fun. Get imaginative."
Yeah, I'm taking 2 Ambien and having a hot chocolate. I'll be awake in about 3 hours. Do what you do.
Do what you gotta do.
It is Militao. Yeah, that's Militao. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're bringing on a central defender who can play right back for Danny.
I never got into Prison Break, by the way, Reels and Jared. I don't know if you got into Prison Break, but
never saw it. I saw the first thing and I was like, okay, this is for chicks.
Yes,
like this is for girls.
One of my ex-girlfriends loved Prison Break.
Really? Oh, did she know? I wonder why.
I don't know why.
What could possibly have a drive?
No idea.
Now, let me think. Yeah. No, I saw episode 1. I was like, this is 24 meets the Shawshank Redemption for chicks.
Okay.
And I don't need to watch it.
I don't know what that is.
Do you remember 24? Do
you
remember 24? That Kiefer Sutherland thing. Do you remember the series 24? I know,
Bernadette's calling you out, Ryan.
For what?
Girlies?
Chicks. Yeah, it's for... Come on, Bernadette. You know it's for girls. You know Prison Break is for girls. It's not for guys.
Stefano says it bangs. It says it bangs. Apparently it bangs.
Yeah, maybe, So I never watched the whole. I don't even know if I've watched even a part of an episode with her. Actually, do you know why? Do you know the reason I stopped watching it was because I didn't even start watching. To be honest, someone told me that it was about the fact that this guy got sent to prison to break his brother out, yes. And he had the plans to the prison tattooed on his back. And I just said, that's the most ridiculous pile of shite I've ever heard in my life. I ain't watching that. Okay, cool. That just sounds stupid. And then I saw...
It does, because they take pictures of all your tattoos, by the way.
Yeah, he's got his top off, and so the girls wanted to watch it. It's like, cool, the girls will watch it. I'll just go play PlayStation.
There used to be... There was a show... I'm trying to think of what the name of it was. It might have been just Tattoo. But there was a show where like the person was all tattooed up and like the tattoos like had some like significance, like every tattoo has significance to like the mystery or something like that. I'll have to remember what it was.
What was a series? Is that?
Yeah, it was a series. It was like a television series.
Are you sure you don't mean the film Memento?
It was Memento. Memento was a good movie.
That's
That
the
was a good
plot
movie.
of Memento. He keeps losing his memory. So when he finds out a clue, basically he's trying to find out who murdered his wife. Someone murdered his wife, and he has short-term memory loss. So if he finds something out within like 20 minutes, he'll have forgotten anything ever happened. So as soon as he finds out a clue about what happened to his wife, he tattoos it on himself. So every time he wakes up, basically from his memory loss, he looks at his tattoos and realizes what he's doing, and it reminds him what he's doing. And he goes and he finds the next clue, and he tattoos that on himself. And then he forgets everything. He has to remember everything again. It's a crazy idea. It's a really cool idea. And yeah, a good movie, I think. I remember watching it. I don't think I ever watched it twice.
Blind Spot.
Blind Spot. That sounds
it was on for 5 years, apparently.
It's a fairly generic term.
That long. Blind Spot. It's
yeah, exactly. Memento. The ending is the beginning. It's really,
Memento was
it
a great
is a
movie.
really
That's a really good movie.
Yeah. It is. It's a really kind of one of those things you can kind of do it once. You know what I mean? It's sort of, it is a great idea, but you can only do it really once. So you got to do it really well the first time.
Right.
You know, because it's an idea that, once everyone sees it, oh, I get it now. That's why it's one of those movies that's excellent, but it's actually not a brilliant rewatch. Because a lot of it
you already know the plot.
Yeah, but I mean, you already know the plot of every movie, but like some movies you can rewatch 100 times and they get better. Where that's one of those movies where a lot of the kind of heft of it is built on seeing it for the first time and realizing
it's like what was the M. Night Shyamalan movie?
All of them.
All of them.
They're all built on a big twist at the end. Like
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but the one that initially with Bruce Willis, that was the one that really got him the fame and got him the Hitchcock style, like allure with his movies.
Sixth Sense.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that was
if you watch
brilliant.
Sixth Sense over, other than you watching for maybe something you missed the first time you watched it, you're probably
no point. It doesn't hit in any way the same. In no way did it hit the same. Like that was one of those dickhead. Like there was people. That was one of those horrible things because back then the movie going theater audience is still big. So you had this. I know you have this in America where there'd be like multiple screenings. So as one. The 3 p.m. people going to watch Sixth Sense and they're coming out and there's a queue for the people for the 5 p.m. show and there was people going around going Bruce Willis is a ghost to people. They were doing that shit because it was such a big spoiler. It was like anyone that's ever seen, like it was such an amazing movie that as soon as it came out everyone who had seen it was basically in spoiler mode. So many people hadn't seen it, but if you even just said that one thing, "Oh, Bruce Willis is dead," it would ruin the entire movie. So loads of people had that movie ruined for them because it was really hard to not find out. If a load of people went and see it, I'll go and see it next week. Don't go and see it next week because basically everyone's going to be talking about it, and it'll be impossible not to hear someone say, "Well, Bruce Willis is a ghost."
Yeah, Stefano just put into there. He says also The Prestige with Christian Bale's sensational twist. That is one of my favorite movies. Actually, I love The Prestige and also The Illusionist. They came out the same year.
They did very similar movies. Yeah, very similar movies. Both came out.
Yeah,
I think I've heard one is shit and one is brilliant. That's what I.
Oh no, I thought they were both really, really, really good. The Prestige was pretty cool because like Hugh Jackman and
sorry. Do you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of The Greatest Showman. That's what I was thinking of. The Greatest Showman. That's Hugh Jackman.
Oh that's a different story. Yeah, that's different story.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. Oh no, Fight Club is iconic. I love.
But The Prestige apparently is the best one. Of the two, The Prestige, I've heard The Prestige is
it's more. It's The Illusionist is more like I wouldn't say fairy tale. It's more like romantic. It's more like it's like a lighter tone, I guess you could say, almost in a sense. To the Prestige, it was like once you find out about the Prestige and how he's like, I don't want to give it away, but you find out
who's the main guy in the Prestige? The
Prestige was Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman.
Oh, okay. Hugh McGregor.
They're fighting. They're competing with each other to be like the greatest illusionist, and then the illusionist is with Burns, Ed Burns. I think that's his name, right?
Oh, I don't know.
He played the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
Trying to think of something else he played. He played in the 25th Hour. You ever see that movie?
No.
That's with 25th Hour is a movie by Spike Lee. It's a really, really good movie too. It's basically
that's Edward Norton, dude. That's
Edward Norton. I said Edward Burns. That's what I meant. That's why I was Ed Norton. Yes.
Burns. He's like that really old comedian, and he's like 90s. So it must be a new Ed Burns. Yeah, Edward Norton, the guy from Fight Club. Yeah.
That's what I meant. I'm sorry.
Oh, I've seen 25th Hour. Yeah. Yeah, with Ed Norton.
Ed Norton was the Hulk too, though. Mark Ruffalo is the new Hulk.
They did two movies. They did two. That was like they came out really close. The Ang Lee one came out, wasn't it?
Yes, exactly.
And then,
that was him, and he played in that one with what's her name? I'm trying to think of the girl that plays in that. She's actually going to play in the new Hulk movie too. She's going to have a role in it somehow. I
like Mark Ruffalo in Zodiac. That's a great movie.
Oh, okay, cool. I read that book actually.
He's really, really good in that.
Yeah,
he is really like him, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Robert Downey Jr. All brilliant in that. And I'm not even a big fan of Gyllenhaal, but he's really good in that.
If you like those kind of thrillers, or not thrillers, but do you watch Mindhunters? It's on Netflix. Since you're talking about the Zodiac.
I know the kind of the serial killer type.
It's a series,
thing, yeah. With the guy. Yeah, with the guy that was kind of the original Profiler. That guy, is it?
Yeah. He creates the serial killer name or concept.
Yeah. I know the guy. Yeah, I know the guy. Yeah, I've read about him already. Yeah. No, I don't. I don't have Netflix. They're trying here. They're trying. This looks like Pens.
It's looking more like Pens. Yeah, I'm at the one. So I'm gonna be it's gonna be a minute extra time. And
I looked at it wrong. Sorry, no, this is Pens. Yeah, there's only about 10 seconds left. Sorry, yeah, this is going to Pens, lads.
It just went into extra time for me, or into the they gave a minute extra, and it's at 20 seconds right now. Did you like? You're speaking of Robert Downey Jr. Did you like him in? Did you like him as Sherlock Holmes? Or who do you?
That's the bloody Jude. That was the Jude Law one, wasn't it?
Yeah, Jude Law. Yes.
Years ago.
Yeah.
And they did a couple. Oh, that was actually. I think I saw that first one in the cinema.
Oh,
the first one. Wow. And I rarely go to see kind of.
Now you go to the cinema these days. Yeah.
No, that was actually kind of good, and I love there's you see, anyone in England, you probably haven't seen it, but people in England, there's if you grew up in the 80s or 90s especially, there's a classic, all-time classic TV show over here, Sherlock Holmes, which with Jeremy Brett. Like, there's been loads of them before or since, but the iconic one over here, it's kind of like it's as big as Columbo, it's like,
oh, okay,
it's like like as in no one else could play Columbo, only Peter Falk. Like, if you've grown up in a certain generation, Jeremy Brett is your Sherlock Holmes. And
I got what you're saying.
he's
Yeah.
amazing as it, just as idiosyncratic as Falk is as Columbo. He makes it completely. It's one of the best shows ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was everyone kind of loves that. And they made a new Sherlock Holmes with that guy Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yes, that's what I was about to ask. I was just about to ask that question.
Yeah,
like,
I
was going to say who in the chat too.
Yeah, they
who was your
updated it.
favorite?
Yeah, they updated it and try and make it like super modern and all that. And it was good in the early days, but like most of those things, it got really successful. And like True Detective rank, like they just get worse every season. But
hold on, I'm sorry.
But the Downey Jr. one, just to ask your question, I did think that movie was fun, and I was ready to not like it because I don't like Jude Law, but I do like Downey Jr. He's very charismatic, and they were fun, and they were a bit. They stayed on the right side of steampunk. I mean, if that had been made 2 years later, it would have gone full steampunk. Yeah, but I love I love that Victorian era.
Yeah,
that time. It's a really cool era to film and stuff, and wasn't too much CGI. I don't like anything with CGI in it. I don't like because I see it and I disengage. When there's too much of it, used in the right way, it's fine. But when it's just like, London Bridge blowing up and people jumping out of planes and landing in boats, when it goes stupid like Michael Bay crap. But they kept it cool. It was good. And Downey Jr., he overacted it a little bit, but he was good as well. So I didn't see the second one. But the Sherlock one with Cumberbatch, that was one of the biggest shows since Doctor Who. And it was really, really good at the start because the stories are brilliant. And then by season 2, it was the biggest thing on TV. And then by season 3, it was like, okay, lads, you're kind of losing the plot here a little bit.
Yeah.
Going overblown, like all those shows do, they always
with success, with success and everything else.
Most shows are when they're iconic. They rarely get better every season. It's usually season 1 is good, and then season 2 and 3
sort of like
really
Luther.
Peak.
Are you a Luther fan?
Oh, I used to love Luther, but just like that again, Idris Elba. Like I'm a Wire guy. I watched The Wire when it was being shown.
Wire's one of the greatest. That's one of the greatest series of all time.
Yeah, I was watching it in 2001, 2002 when it was being shown on Irish television at 2:00 in the morning. Like I watched The Wire before anybody I know ever watched The Wire. Only my sister had seen it because it was buried away on this Irish channel called TG Car, which is basically an Irish language channel, which literally like only Irish programs on it, speaking Gaelic. And at 1:00 in the morning every Thursday, they would show The Wire, and nobody had picked up on it. It wasn't on anything, and we were showing it. This was like way back in the day. Like I saw season 2 before I even owned a DVD player.
Wow.
That show, man, nobody was watching it. Like that was cult in a big way. And then somehow something happened in like season 3 or 4, and then DVD box sets came out. It's only when DVD box sets started coming out, it was like, oh, what's a good show? Oh, well, there's The Sopranos. Oh, well, I've seen that. And then it's like, well, there's the police stuff, and then there's The Wire. And everyone's like, what's The Wire? Like, but I remember genuinely having to go, like, do you remember when you had to actually be in your house at a particular time
to
turn on the TV?
Yeah.
And that time was like 1:00 in the morning on a Thursday.
I remember there's a time, this is dating me, I know, but there was a time when there used to be like Soprano watch parties, for instance. Like I used to go over to my friend. I used to go up to New York, and I would watch Sopranos on a Sunday with my my friends would we all meet at one of my friends' houses, and they would make
bada bing.
They'd make an Italian meal, and you sit there and you'd watch. We would watch Entourage, and then Sopranos, or vice versa. It was one of the two.
I hope it was Entourage first. Oh no, Modric.
Did you see? And Bernadette just answered the question too. Did you see
What's
the
that?
Luther movie?
Yes, I liked a lot of the little movie, but the trip to the bunker in the snow was a bit. Did they make a movie of Luther?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh no.
yeah.
This was the point I was actually going to make about that. Was I liked Luther because I was a Wire guy, and even then, the Wire had this was after everyone, like I was saying, all the latecomers and all the newcomers, and everyone had seen the Wire at this stage. So Idris Elba was a bit of a thing.
Mhm.
You know, he was, you know, like even like Idris Elba when I started watching, like it was a year and a half later that I found out he was actually English. No one, like he was a completely unknown person. And
Mhm.
then that was the best thing about The Wire, by the way. All of the actors were unknowns, so you just
Yeah, yeah.
believed.
Idris Alba was in
Oh
that.
my god! Oh
Speaking
my
of
god!
Luther, don't tell me, don't
Whoa!
tell me, don't
No,
tell me.
no, no!
I'm
Watch
only
it.
on the second kick.
Yeah, watch it.
Yeah, yeah.
But basically, the point I'll get to is very quickly, Idris Elba became the most oversaturated thing in England.
After
The
that.
English, they completely lost their minds because he was black, he was cool, he was in one of the coolest shows of all time. He sounds cool, he's big. I mean, women just lost their minds for Idris Elba. And
Yeah.
the English media and the press, they just went crazy.
Well, you
Idris
know what's funny
everywhere.
about that too is that like when I
Total
first saw
oversaturation.
The Wire, I didn't know he was English.
No, nobody did. That was the
You know
whole
what I
point.
mean? I
And
didn't know he was English. I'm like, oh well, here's wonder who this American actor is.
and I'll tell you how long ago this is. In the same flat that I watched, in the same apartment, it was a big apartment I got lucky to own or to live in, and it was the first time that I saw The Wire. That was the first house. That was the first place I ever lived in that I actually had
Yeah,
the internet in.
yeah.
I didn't even have when I moved in there. It was the first place in my life I ever had the internet.
Oh,
That's how long ago
Stefano.
that is.
Did you see what Stefano just said? Stefano, you're missing out. Trust me, you're missing out. He's never seen The Wire.
Did you see the pens? Did you see
I just
Bernardo
saw what.
Silva?
Yeah, I just saw what the Rat did. Yeah, that was.
That
horrible.
is the worst penalty I've ever seen in my life. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Oh yes, yes, yes. I know he did. He's actually not a bad DJ. Actually.
Yeah, exactly. But it was like he was on every show,
Oh
every
my
ad,
goodness!
everything. I
Saw
know. Yeah,
that too.
Kovacic.
Is this more so a bad penalty kickers, or is this more just incredible
Dude,
goalkeeping?
it is what you're looking at.
Yeah.
It is what you've just seen. You tell yourself what you've just seen. What did you just see? You just saw it.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of pressure getting to these guys. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, like with Idris Elba, I'm a fan, but he's been signing up and taking some checks lately.
This is what I'm saying. Every ad campaign was Idris. Everything was Idris.
He's been taking some checks. Like he was in some movie where he was like a DJ that became a nanny or something.
You know, they made even the classic mistake, right? Of and most people won't remember this. He's from a very colorful background. He has a very charismatic family, probably great crack. You know his family?
I know his family's from Africa, but I don't know what part of Africa. Yeah.
All those people are great. They all have these crazy stories, you know, that they can tell when they're growing up, you know. Oh, my mom, there was 6 of us in the house, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone can tell that same story, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he was famous. And because he was famous and he could tell it and make it sound funny, oh, our house is crazy. They went to him, well, would you like to make and star in a comedy sitcom of your life growing up? And we'll call it Idris. Well, of course I would. That isn't the world's biggest vanity project.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not a comedian. You're not a comedy writer. And like,
No.
you have funny stories from your childhood, like everyone does.
Yep.
But because you're world famous Idris Elba, we'll give you millions and millions, and we can make a comedy series out of it and broadcast it to the nation on the BBC, which they did. And it was absolutely, as you can imagine, this ain't no Everybody Hates Chris.
Yeah.
This would be
what
like...
the heck is going on too, by the way? Are you? I know you're ahead of me.
Oh, yeah, I'm
but
watching, yeah.
They're allowing, like Pep said, you know what? I want my goalkeeper to take the fifth kick. He scored. I get it.
Oh, no, it's a good penalty. You don't need to be... I mean, Rogerio Ceni... I watched this last one. Sorry.
Yeah.
Rogerio Ceni, look at his goal scoring record.
Yeah.
And the boy we've all been talking about, all night, the man who made the difference.
Uh-huh.
Marks Haaland into non-existence.
Right.
Steps up.
Yep. I just looking at this now. Rudiger's just put the ball down on the spot kick for me. I'm looking away from the chat so I don't get any spoilers, but Rudiger can put Real Madrid through to the next round with this kick. Takes a breath. Oh my goodness.
That's why he's taking us, Stefano. Don't worry, man. You're overestimating. You think anybody who can't take a penalty kick plays for Real Madrid? Behave yourself, man. All these boys.
I get that. I mean, no, I'm just saying Ederson, he guessed the right side.
No, Stefano is saying, like, why is Rudiger taking a penalty?
Oh, yeah.
There's your answer, my friend. There's your answer.
Yep.
Minerals FC.
Minerals FC, for sure.
Look at them. I'm delighted for him.
Yeah.
I hate Real Madrid.
I hate Real Madrid. I cannot stand Real Madrid so badly.
And I'm happy.
Yeah. That goes to show you how much it's a weird world we live in, right? You know?
Yeah. Absolutely hate them. And I like them right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a nice jersey. He's a nice player. Yeah. They're not too bad.
Yeah.
Right in off the post. Not the best connection, but
we'll see what happens. I mean, they're in the stands right now.
That's Silva penalty. That's Silva penalty, man. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Kovacic follows it straight up. Now, they are two world-class players. Kovacic is
you would not have seen that happening.
No, Silva, as much as we all hate him, he's a world-class footballer. And to get caught out by Lunin,
oh my goodness, that hit the post.
Bluff.
That hit the post and went in.
Yeah, curled it in off.
Crap. That was close. It wasn't the greatest of penalty kicks, to be honest with you. But
no, one of the best contact, but that's how you get it, man. In off, best way to do it. In off the bottom of the post. There he is now, top straight off. Of course he took his top off. Look, Sistine Chapel, man. That's a whole Madonna on his back.
Yeah. Why not? If you got those tattoos, you didn't get those tattoos to wear a shirt. You know what I mean?
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
You didn't say, "Hey, I'm gonna get these tattoos. Where's my jacket at?"
Yeah, he's like, "No, you have my shirt. Take it."
Yeah. Every opportunity you get, you take your shirt off. Oh my goodness. So we have
But they're both out. 3-horse race.
We have our final four.
Back to England now, and nobody with no distractions. No double treble for City.
Yeah.
That's something
MK, so you know
what?
I get that you should get it colored, but possibly, but tattoos on black people is
I didn't want to say.
Yeah, I know you didn't want to say.
Yeah, it's very difficult. Yeah,
it's difficult.
To really stand.
I always wondered why they just I don't have any tattoos, but I always wondered why black people don't get like white ink for their tattoos instead of black ink. To be honest with you.
For some like shading and highlighting and stuff, but yeah, like I mean, if you're like say like some of these West African guys like that, like are like really really dark skinned.
Yeah,
I mean, you're at nothing trying to tattoo yourself. Really, it's really hard to show any kind of like. But yeah, obviously just that you can't put color. It's strange that you see some of these guys just so into their tats. It's just like it must be kind of annoying.
Yeah.
It's like we can only really do this one thing, that dark color stuff, and that's it. Like,
yeah, yep.
What's your thoughts on
house?
Face tattoos?
Oh, face tattoos! Come on. I didn't really know. I didn't really understand the whole face tattoo thing, especially until like I think like the big emergence of face tattoos was like when Tyson got his face tattoo. I know that they existed long before him, but I'm just saying.
Oh
like,
yeah, no, but those like new ones were like, because my nephew was growing up right in this generation where it's really annoying that these kids don't actually fucking realize this shit is permanent. Where the kind of the trend is to get those kind of crappy little, intentionally homemade type looking little bits and pieces. They're not like sleeves or anything. They're just random little symbols and bits and pieces all over your arm.
Mm-hmm.
There's none of that. Like none of it is any quality. It's like my niece just got a massive spider in a web across her chest, like literally across her décolletage, as they would say, her chest area, and it's like it's just black, no color, nothing. It's a big spider web with a spider in the middle of it. And I'm like, you better hope you never fall in love with an arachnophobe, because you've just got a massive big spider on your chest, and it's huge. Like that's it. It's like it's just like these kids, man. Fucking what's his name? Oh, who's that guy? Post Malone. Like, those just little tiny little symbols, little cross, and like it's kind of cross between prison tats. It's made to look amateurish kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and it's all plastered all over your face. No artwork to it. It's just like, dude, that's going to beat her in 30 years. Like, it sounded cool yesterday, but no, man, please. Like, they're fashion. Are you doing that because it's fashionable, or because you want to do it? Because fashions will change.
I mean, like, look, Tekashi 6ix9ine happens to look like
all that crap. Yeah. Like, I always just say to him, it's like, you should never get a tattoo unless you will get a tattoo if tattoos were possibly the most unfashionable thing in the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
If they were the most unfashionable thing in the world right now, like, I don't think whatever that might be, like fucking pink bell bottoms, I don't know, whatever it might be, right? Would you still get it if it was like the least fashionable thing on the planet? Yes. Well, then get a tattoo then. Because if they're kind of cool now and you're like, oh no, they're kind of cool, in 15 years time, you're going to be like, oh, why the hell did I get that stupid thing? Like I thought 20 years ago, I was like, you know what I need to do, man? I need to set up one of these tattoo removal businesses, because I could see it coming. There's going to be big money in tattoo removals.
Laser removal, yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, wow. It's pretty crazy. That's a long time ago. South Korea in the house. Trap Joe. That's funny. Pep needs a Batman-esque face tattoo. Yeah. We need to just I think Bernardo Silva could get like the 3 lines that come through, so he gets the rat whiskers. That could be his face tattoo.
So everyone's out. We're all out.
Yeah.
Well, we're not.
We're the last
man standing in Europe.
Yeah. Well,
Liverpool.
West Ham.
West Ham.
Yeah.
And Villa's still in, right? Isn't Villa still in?
Yeah.
Okay, so not the last man standing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
but
just
it
showing
kind of
that
goes away.
silver
I thought it was
penalty
going. I'll
again.
be honest. I thought it was going to be an all English, or at least an all English final for Champions League, and I thought it was going to be possibly even a. I was rooting for an all English Europa final, but
Oh, there was no way Arsenal were getting to a Champions League final. Come on, it's Arsenal, man. No way.
Yeah, that wasn't happening.
No way.
Uh-huh. That was
Never.
their best chance, I think, today. They've been playing in form and stuff, but they ain't winning nothing. They're never going to win that.
what DEFCON warning is AFTV and all the Arsenal Gooners? What are they at right now? If you had to put them at a DEFCON rating, you know what my DEFCON rating?
Yeah, about 5.
5. Okay.
Can you send me the link on Twitter? My phone's about to die.
Yeah. Sure. 5. Okay. What would be JK? Do you have a rating?
Mm-hmm. I don't know what that means, but
Oh, okay.
But,
Like DEFCON 1, DEFCON 5, like as in like it means like there's 5 stages before you have like complete war, nuclear war.
okay. And what's the top one?
I believe DEFCON 5 is the top one. Let
Yeah.
me double check, but I want to make sure I got it right. I'm gonna send him the
Link.
sorry. Oh man, they're loving it on Bernardo
I'm happy.
Silva's. Yeah,
I'm happy they both lost. Yeah.
How can you not be?
Yeah, they deserve it.
Yeah, they deserve every last bit of it. Let me see. DEFCON 1, 2. Yeah, okay. So DEFCON 5 is like DEFCON 5 is the least, and then DEFCON 4 it goes 5 is the bottom, and then once you get to DEFCON 1, it's like it means the defense readiness condition is an alert state used by, in the sense of like, you know, if there's like a craziness is going out there, you know, like what level are they on right now? Like, I mean,
sort of,
I was watching the reactions. Basically, did you see some of the reactions shows? They show like the reactions of the goal reactions of different watch-alongs.
Okay, I haven't seen this one. The Villa one, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't watched that, but it's all good. But I was just thinking, I wanted to ask you the question before when the show started. That do you think it would have been better if those two were still involved in the Champions League? So more of a responsibility,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but in this way, it's definitely they won't win it again. So the one less near us guys, you know what I mean? So I knew Arsenal weren't going to win nothing. City, if they win the second one, they're 4 behind us. So in a weird way, it's good. It's good.
I did ask the group, or I did ask the chat and the group that question as to like who they wanted to see win these next 2 matches, obviously, considering that the 2 English sides were in it. And a lot of the chat all had, you know, the English teams advancing, despite, you know, the rivalries and everything such. I was not on the same page with the chat today in that sense. I did not want to see. I could care less about. I don't want to see City win. Period. I don't want to see Arsenal win. I know it means that they have another game that they would have to worry about, another competition they'd have to put into, you know, in the whole 9. But no, bond those guys. I don't want them getting any type of silverware, you know, if possible.
Yeah, I don't want them winning either, but they'll have more games to play thing. You're kind of banking on that working in our favor. It's a bit of a call. Like one of us is going to win the league. So I would be very much in the same way of like, but definitely I didn't want to see Arsenal win it, and City, I've negated everything they do anyway. I don't really kind of consider, to be legitimate. But at the same time, yeah, when I was pushed on it, I was like, oh look, maybe it'd be good for us. They have more games, yada yada. But at the end of the day, I was like, no, I want them out. I don't want either of these teams to be able to turn around at the end of the season and go, especially not Arsenal fans, being able to turn around
Yeah.
and say we won the European Cup. No, just no.
I didn't even want them getting to say, oh well, we made it to this round, or or we made it to the finals. I didn't want that, because they would have hung their hat on that too.
No, I'm glad they're out. It'll
Yeah.
be what will be in the league. I don't think
Mhm.
even if these teams had both gotten to the final, that doesn't
Yeah.
one of them, like City could still have won the league title. So now
Mhm.
winning European Cups is pretty special. So the more of them we have and the fewer of them they have, the happier I am, I suppose. Because I don't want them anywhere near it.
I'm
Especially,
agreeing.
I'm
I'm in
not
agreement
even sure.
with Stefano too.
I'm not even sure about Arsenal as well. I don't. The last thing you want to listen to those dickheads talk about winning the bloody Champions League, as if they'd know anything about winning the bloody Champions.
Exactly. It would have been a case where, like, albeit this stage, it's got great teams. I'm not going
London
to.
as well. It's in London
Hmm?
as well. The final is
Oh
in
yeah.
London, so
Oh
Arsenal
wow.
would have been,
Oh my
they would
gosh.
have been all over that.
Yeah.
Dortmund Bayern in the semi. That is horrible for Dortmund. Dortmund Bayern. I mean, that's the last thing German fans want. You don't want to be playing the same bloody team. Like Dortmund getting knocked out is bad enough. They get knocked out of something again, losing something out again. Bloody Bayern Munich.
Oh yeah.
That's a horrible draw for them. That's the last thing. That'd be like us getting Man City in a semi-final. You'd rather
Could
play
you
anyone.
imagine? Could you imagine that against if it was Dortmund versus Bayern in the finals?
I think who did they play in the final? They played Bayern in the final, didn't they? They lost to Bayern in the final.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't they? One of the finals they
Oh,
lost to Bayern.
I don't remember. I'd have to look
Pretty
it
sure
up.
they lost to Bayern.
I was gonna say if Dortmund.
We've broken their hearts plenty of times before.
Yeah, I meant this time around it'd be kind of nuts to see that Harry Kane would be going up against to get his first really major trophy, and having to go up against Dortmund.
You've got Real Madrid, Paris. Like the bookies will probably play Real Bayern in the final. Hopefully not.
Well, no, Real and Bayern have to play each other.
No. In the final they will. Semi-final is PSG versus Real. The other semi is Dortmund versus Bayern. That's the same. Okay. Dortmund are probably if Dortmund are going to get knocked out, the chance to go to the final would be Bayern that does it.
Mm-hmm.
As per always breaking their hearts. So the bookies will probably tell you Real Madrid should beat Paris and Bayern should beat Dortmund. So the odds on that final would be Real beat Bayern. Maybe. Hopefully Dortmund could do it. I mean, if they do, then they should sell Harry Kane immediately because he's obviously cursed.
He's obviously a curse.
But I don't know. It's not a great draw for him. Like, I'd like to see Paris Saint-Germain versus Dortmund. That'd be different. At least to be a bit different. Another Real final.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Who would you pick out of them? Dortmund, I suppose. Everybody's favorite.
Yeah.
To win it, if you could pick one. No one's going to pick PSG or Bayern or Real, I suppose. So So the usual
That's a
suspects:
good question.
Real,
Yeah.
PSG, Bayern, always around it.
I thought it was set up the other way around, but okay. Let's see what it ends up being. There's some of the guys saying here. I was going to say this though too. What Stefano says is he thinks exiting the Champions League isn't good for morale or mentality in those big moments. I agree.
That's That's the other. We don't like. That's what I'm saying. As much as you're saying, oh, that would benefit us if they go far. Well, we don't know that.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, going out of it doesn't mean that, oh no, they're going to be focused now. Yeah, maybe going out of it knocks their mojo a bit.
Right.
Well, hopefully, especially a team like Arsenal.
Yep. It's
something like City, they
one of those things.
The mentality.
I mean, though, those things do kind of linger with them, with Arsenal.
Well, that's bad now. Like, to go there and not score is, it's a one-off game.
Both teams only had 3 shots. Yeah, they had 3 shots on net.
Yeah, you got to do better than that. You've got to at least give yourself a chance. You go out by losing 3-2 or something. 1-0 is the real. They didn't show kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. It should be good. Champions League. Trying to find out. Oh, you know what I could do? Yeah, I had it open on here.
What are you looking for?
For you? Is that I was looking for some of the stats from today's games.
I saw they just showed the highlights of the Arsenal Bayern game, and there was nothing. There was no Arsenal. Like, it was a shortened highlight bit, but they didn't even show any. There was a few bits and pieces. There was Bayern goal. That was it.
By the way, it is what I said, Brian. It's Dortmund versus PSG, and it's Bayern versus Real Madrid.
That's not the graphic that just popped up on TV here. It said it's Bayern versus Dortmund.
Okay, I'm looking at the graphic here. It has because usually the two teams you play, like as in the two teams play on the same day, and then that's the two teams that that's the teams that you'll be meeting.
Yeah, that's just literally the one.
That's weird.
That's just
in the graphic I'm looking at here. It has Dortmund advanced, obviously, and PSG advanced, and it has Bayern and Real Madrid advancing, but it has Bayern versus Bayern versus Real Madrid, and it has Dortmund versus PSG.
Someone's after messing up somewhere, because that's the graphic the UEFA thing showed was.
I'm just looking. Yeah, I'm looking at my app. Maybe my app has it wrong. Then that's why that's why I was looking. I was like, oh, I thought it could be an all German. I thought it could be an all German final. That's why I was saying it that way. But interesting. Yeah. I haven't seen. They haven't put up the graphic yet of who on the actual broadcast yet of who they're going to be playing next. At least they still have just the score results, but yeah, because on here they had obviously they have the way they have it set up is they have it like as in they have all the game. They have all they had PSG versus Real Sociedad and Napoli versus Bayern. That's all in the top. PSV versus Dortmund, Inter versus Atletico was like the top. And then the next round of the bracket was Barca versus PSG, Atletico versus Dortmund. And then the next round they have is PSG versus Dortmund. So that's what these might have. Yep. A lot of you guys still there? Just making sure. JK, you there too?
Yeah, bro.
Okay, just making sure. Just make sure. Yeah. Yeah. Well, even if it's even if it's the other way around, though, if it's the way that Brian said earlier, what did you say they had it as, Brian? He's on the graphic you saw. Thank you, Brian. I thought I was alone for a second.
Sorry, just texting some back there. No, just the other way, the opposite of what that's the opposite to what you said. It's what I said earlier on. There's only 4 teams. There's only 4 teams in it, so it's you said it's the opposite of what I said. So it's the opposite of what you said. That's what showed up here. It's not saying Liverpool are playing, so it's the opposite of what you said.
No, I didn't. I meant like you said.
Well, I said it was Bayern. It said Bayern were playing Dortmund. I can't really say it any.
Okay, I got you.
I said it about 57 times. I don't want to keep repeating myself. I don't know how much more info I can add. Someone at UEFA fucked up, or someone at TV. What the? I was waiting for the football to come back on. They're fucking showing some stupid American reality show. I thought it was an ad for it. They ended up really quick.
And they just went right into it. They just dropped right out of it.
Oh yeah, it was extra time. Of course, it was extra time. They would have been. Yeah, they wouldn't have been expecting to be on until. Yeah, so they literally just. Yeah, they showed it, and they just went straight into the housewives in Kentucky or something.
Oh, Kentucky. Yeah.
So it is something I don't watch.
Yeah, you definitely don't watch reality TV.
It's one of those things. It is. I know there's just a load of women sitting around talking. It's obviously a reality show about housewives.
Do you think, real quick questions here then, since we just saw some of these results, I just saw Arteta's post-match interview right there. And obviously Henry is being asked questions on our broadcast, because I have the commentators for us are Henry and Jamie and the city, the guy from City. I'm gonna go blank on his name. Richards, right? That's the 3 football pundits that I have on my screen. Anyway, they're talking about it. Do you think, and this is a question, do you think that Arteta is shown the door if this year results in no silverware once again? Do you think do you think they will look for a change in coaching and leadership? And this is Arsenal. Yeah.
I think their fans will.
Yeah. I think their fans are already saying. I'm asking that question because I've already heard the Arteta out loud.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And that's what I mean. It's a bit. That's what the fans are like now. Because I think Arteta has actually improved Arsenal, and they've been on form. But this week sort of just destroyed their season, like the week we had. Yeah, they've had it now, so maybe it'll batter them a little bit and get them, because they're playing Wolves on Saturday now. Hopefully they'll be a bit battered from this game and the disappointment of it. So that's the only good thing about this game, the results and these 2 results today. Hopefully they'll bring that sort of disappointment into the Premier League for a few games.
Yeah. It's just this is crazy how so many of these guys were like pro Arteta, and now all of a sudden they're like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like the patience was never really there, and they're already going
Yeah.
out. He's out.
Yeah.
I told you he was a bottle job. I told you he was this. That's all I heard was that. I kind of talk, and I was like, wow, this guy just got you deep into the Champions League. You know, he got you in a title run. You know, and
you want him out.
You want him out.
Yeah.
And it's like it goes almost back to what we were. It's almost like the same thing with strikers. Was that Irishman?
He's never popular there. I know Arsenal fans. He was never popular there.
Yeah.
True.
He's never been a popular manager. Ask anyone who goes there every week.
Oh yeah,
Get these internet boys. Arteta is not popular. They don't
sing songs for him.
They're behind it. They're behind it. They see what he's doing. You know, they like him. There is a core group like all of, you know, that is very pro Arteta, but the majority of them have always been very. We'll take him. You know, we'll back him, but skeptical at best. You know, with kind of expecting it to go wrong or whatever because he doesn't have much pedigree, and he's built up to be some kind of ex-Arsenal, you know, been there, done that.
Yeah,
he was a last-minute replacement for Fabregas when they made a mess in the transfer window. They bought I think 4 players on the last day of the window, 4 or 5 players in a couple of days of the window, and they brought in Arteta. They don't have much love for him as a player. He's just this guy that was there for a few years. So, the pro Arteta people, they'd be very much online. I'd say all these. I know Irish Arsenal. They're just like, nah, not bad about him. Seems like a bit of a dick.
Lee Gunner's probably going ape, SHIT for sure.
I wouldn't want him anywhere near the Liverpool.
Yeah. Oh, okay. How about you, JK? Would you take Arteta as a manager?
Oh, no,
as our next manager, at least. Yeah.
I think my laugh sort of gave you my answer. You know?
want to be in a serious pickle, wouldn't you? You want to be in a serious pickle to be turning to him.
I mean, you'd be getting the closest thing to Pep, right? I guess, right, in a sense.
Oh, okay. I'll take him then. Fuck it. You know what people don't really talk about is that he's actually spent nearly $500 million.
Oh, he's got a load of money.
He spent a lot of money, and them owners are pretty tight as well. So they've actually opened the checkbook for Arteta, you know. So he sort of failed. Actually, this season I've seen a better Arsenal, probably one of the best Arsenal I've seen in a long time. They're playing better. But this week that's what football's like now. It takes like one game to ruin everything, then the second game, and that's what's happening right now.
Yeah, they're very good defensively. This season, especially, very good defensively.
Yeah.
I just said, I always said about some of these guys, it doesn't matter what they do. He will always have been over promoted. You know, he did nothing. He went to the City Academy, and then he goes. You know, he's not somebody who proved himself in a way that Guardiola did with the kids at Barcelona. There was a natural progression there at Barcelona to go from, you know, the youth to the senior side. Arteta has a bit of that about him. He gets himself mixed up with all that, you know. Next thing you know, without ever managing a senior game of football anywhere, he gets handed the Arsenal job, the biggest in world football.
Yeah.
Just because he used to play for them. And he looks and sounds a bit like Pep Guardiola. And I thought it was very low rent from Arsenal at the time, but even if it worked out, and he's better than the other ones, the Lampards and the Gerrards, of all the ex-players that are going on.
That's a shame. I guess, Can you take a dog from England? Can you take a dog from England you can travel. Can you travel with a dog from England to travel a dog from England to Germany or no?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I just wonder. Sometimes you can't. That's why I was asking, because some places don't allow for you. Like, I'm trying. What was the story? There was someone that like.
Depends on the.
Because, like, for instance, like, yeah, the
You can't
Johnny
travel
Depp
to a.
couldn't Johnny Depp couldn't get
Oh,
his
that's
dogs or something
Australia.
like that to Australia or something like
No,
that.
no, dude, that's Australia. You can't bring.
Yeah. Oh, I know. That's what I said.
You can't bring
Yeah.
anything out of Australia. You cannot bring. Like they've got some of the strictest laws for that shit over there because
Mhm.
what can happen in their ecosystem.
Mhm.
So it's banned, but you can't bring any dog into a different country legally without having all its paper stuff done, and almost everywhere you would have to at least you will have to quarantine your dog. You can't just bring it on a plane.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not you
Yeah.
can't just drive across the border with your dog in. Even in the friendly countries, like it'll come in, but it'll have to wait in a week or so.
Hmm.
But they took the piss. Like you do. Ever seen those immigration shows? You know those shows where they stop people in the airport and they get their stuff.
Yeah.
You watch that Australian one. They are just insane. Any kind of food, animal matter, anything that's like they treat it like nuclear. It's like no.
Hmm. Oh no, it's very different. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to do anything like for Hawaii, for instance. It's not like whether it's animals and especially if it's food, even like fruits and stuff. You can't get certain like fruits and so if you have like you couldn't bring like certain fruits with you if you're flying in or flying out. But I was wondering about the dog thing because apparently I guess they didn't bring their dog with them. Arsenal did not bring their dog to Germany. Do you know about their dog? I guess not. I didn't know they had pet passports.
No.
That's crazy. Yeah, the Arsenal have a
Well,
dog named. They have a chocolate lab called Win. The name of the dog is called Win. WIN.
Okay.
And
Imaginative.
yeah, exactly right. He says it's he hangs out at the training ground and he says they say that it's a girl, has the ability to change the mood in an instant. Well, Win has a big job to do when those guys get home.
Wow, that's
because they are going
okay,
to need
so
they're going to need it. It's interesting.
it sounds like one of those Disney movies, Can Win
Oh yeah,
put on
yeah.
our
They just
okay.
got the lab this year. They just got it this year.
Cool. Get Win an Arsenal jersey then. Let's stick him up front for the Wolves one.
I would have said he might have been able to do a better job than maybe it would have been a better job than some of those some of the Gooners in scoring. I don't know. Well, we're gonna do a watch along tomorrow for the game. At least I'll be here. At least, hopefully, JK or the Irishman could be here with us, either in spirit or at least here in general. And I hope that you're here with us too. Everyone in the chat, thank you guys for just hanging out, watching, enjoying this little watch along. It wasn't a real watch along, but just enjoying, this kind of like hangout session, I guess. Champions League, we'll call it a Champions League hangout. Because all we did was kind of like hang out, have the game on in the background, getting to watch a lot of what we wanted to see, at least what I wanted to see happen, and that is, seeing Kimmich score. I think it was Kimmich that scored, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then and basically ending the hopes of Arsenal, and then watching I thought that was a pretty cool little penalty kick session though. I think that was a cool penalty kick session.
So
I thought it was fun. When I watched it back, like Bernardo Silva didn't even try and do a Panenka.
He didn't.
He actually tried to bend it, and Lunin just stood there.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the interview with Lunin afterwards to see what he said about that, because you know, you see a lot of people saying like, "Oh, if the keeper just stood still, he saves it." You know, it's not as easy as that. Obviously, a lot more to it than that. But what was it about what Silva was doing that made him say, "No, I'm not going to dive"? Because he literally just stood there and caught the ball, like, you know, like a dad playing with his 3-year-old son.
Yeah.
It was
If-
it was
yeah.
really weird. Like, you just don't see keepers do that very often.
Yeah, true.
Very true. Very true.
It was good to see, actually. Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. Real Madrid was fortunate to get very fortunate, I think, to get a 1-1 draw and push it into even to have it go towards penalty kicks, because City controlled the good majority of this game.
Mm-hmm.
A very, very good majority of the game was controlled by City. So, but all the same, that doesn't matter. We know too well it doesn't matter about who has the most possession, who has the most shots. What it comes down to is what's the final score when it ends, and 4-3 in penalty kicks. It ends up being.
Where in the background, Bernie? In the background noise or in the background an axe? I don't think anyone's got
An axe in the
on the
background.
go.
I don't know.
Anyone got an axe on the go? I don't.
No, I don't.
That was yesterday.
That was yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely yesterday. City Arsenal out of the Champions League is only a good thing. Real Madrid suffered throughout. I think what's going to be very interesting is to see what Real Madrid is left with, considering that you saw Junior go down with a hamstring injury. You saw a couple of their players like pull up lame. Oh, what's in the back? Oh, that's not Axe. That's Lucho.
Diaz with that axe.
Yeah, Diaz with the axe.
What about yesterday when he was behind you, bro? That was.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, he does look a little
scary.
scary. He looks like an axe murderer, maybe, or something right there when he's like peeking out from behind us or something.
You need to put a door there. You need to put a door.
Yeah. Oh man, he'll be with us tomorrow. So will Trent and everyone else.
Yeah, but I think
the champagne. No, yeah. Oh, axe. She means ace. Yes, it is. It is. It is ace of spades. It is. Yes. I was like the axe. Axe. I get it. She means yes. It is ace of spades. It is ace of spades.
Ace of spades. Yeah.
Yes. JC's. JC. JC's.
New drink.
That's what the C stands for. Champagne. Yeah. That's what the C stands for.
J champagne. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. There's some inside jokes, I guess, that we're talking about from yesterday. Good times. Yes, hopefully we'll be popping some of these bottles of Ace pretty soon. Hopefully we can see that happen. But yeah, tomorrow we're going to do a lead-in and a watch-along for the game. It will be let's see, because the game is on for me at 12. It'll be it's just going to be an hour and 15 minutes before the game starts is when we'll start the broadcast. So hopefully you guys will be there. Should be fun. I'm gonna make it kind of a different take too during the game too. We'll do like a little bit of like trivia questions, a couple of trivia questions here and there. You know, get a little taste. We're almost close to getting our Quizzo session with the participants for the quiz, for the ultimate quiz, for the maybe yes, with the content creator Quizzo. that we're trying to put together. So we're close. We're close. Hopefully closer than we think. But yes, tomorrow should be good, guys. Just have hope. What's the big deal? Just
We're
have
gonna
hope.
enjoy it.
Yeah,
I
and
think
sit back.
tomorrow's game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's the
there's
worst
no.
can happen? The worst that
Yeah,
can
yeah.
happen is the worst that can happen is we lose.
There's no expectations, and I like games like that sometimes. There's no expectations for tomorrow. For me, if
Yeah.
we get a win, that's good. Clean sheet is like, for me, very important tomorrow. Just get a defensive job done and then take it from there,
Yeah.
But I would
Yeah.
love to see Klopp go with 4 attackers. Just start the game with 2 up top, Salah and Diaz wide. Oh, just do it, man. There's nothing to lose.
Just get
You
the
never
first
know.
goal. All you
Yeah,
can
get the
do
first goal
in a
and take
game
it from
like that,
there.
you have to get the first goal, because if we go 1-0 down, then forget about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll
The
hurt.
first
That'll hurt
goal,
a lot.
build on that. Then just chip them away. That's 1. Right? It's 3-1 now. Okay, this is doable. If you can score, Dream World, you score in the first 8 to 15.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You start strong and you get a breakthrough. You throw everything at them from the start, and it breaks. A break goes your way, a ball goes your way, a pass, something goes your way, and you bury it. There you go. Right,
Yeah.
you're off now. It's only a 2-goal game now, and you've got maybe 75 minutes. You can go with that. You can work with that.
Go with that.
Then go for next. But you can't be there thinking, right, we'll do this. But you just have to. I mean, like Tyson always says, everyone has a plan until you get punched in the mouth.
Yep.
So we can go there.
Yeah.
Make sure you
Well
don't get punched in the mouth. Because
Yep.
1 goal for them while we're out there thinking we're going to this, we're going to that, and then they go up the other end and go bang. It's yeah.
Yep.
We've just got to roll with it. We really do. We have to go and roll with it. Go, look, if any club is going to do this, it's going to be us.
Do you think that, real quick, do you think he's going to do I know the coach is a very, very tactful coach, as he's a smart guy. Do you think they park the bus and just hope for the best? Or do you think they're going to come out and play with us?
No, they're going to pick us off. They're going to wait for us to attack, and they're going to pick us off. That's what they're going to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'll have us. He'll know what we're going to do, because it's obvious. We have to attack. It's true. We're 3-0 down. We ain't coming with some super, So he'll have it set up and go, right, we'll wait for him to attack, and we'll just do this, this, and this, and it's not even on a knife edge. It's not like that. I mean, we should
2-0 would have been nice. Or okay, 2-0 would have looked better than 3-0. I think 3-0 is a bit of a thingy, and I don't really like us fans going on about how we did Barcelona after being 3-0 down. That was the past. Tomorrow's a different game, you know what I mean? But we've got that spirit in us. That's what I would just say. We've got that spirit to get that result, Hopefully it happens. Yeah.
Yeah. We all get it. It's a different game. It's a different team, the whole concept. But I mean, like, it's more so for me, it's like we've seen it happen with better talent, or a better opposition, a more talented opposition. And we've seen it happen before, as in we get something, we pull something out of the bag, and that's all I'm asking for tomorrow is just show up with some pride and show up with a hunger to set things right. I think we can make it happen, guys. Why not?
Brian,
I know a lot of people are off. Like, a lot of people don't want to be hurt again. I understand that, but I mean, hey, you're scared, get a dog. That's how we say it. Right?
But Brian, that guy, you knew when you seen the old West Ham striker sort of getting warmed up and getting into the game and stuff, and you just knew he's gonna come back to England and score a goal. It's just that what Liverpool do sometimes. They'll it's just like it's written. Like a guy come to England, failed, comes back 2 years later or whatever, and ends up banging 2 at Anfield. It's just like, come on, man. Guy ain't scored for 3 years in an away game. Comes to Anfield, scores. Like that sort of statistics. I don't know why the guys working with Klopp and stuff don't find these stats out and make sure them stats don't come true, Them sort of things like haven't scored all season.
We do. Yes. We have a habit every now and again of making some really ordinary players look like world beaters. It does.
Mateta last week looking like prime R9
Yeah.
against Van Dijk. Oh, bro.
He bullied us all over the pitch.
He was battering
No,
them.
he bullied them all over the pitch, man.
One guy
literally
did
just
both
bullied
of our centre backs.
Yeah. Just walked around shoving him out of the way, going, "What do you think? You just get out of my way." I'm like, just literally the original, the one-on-one walk out, winning the physical battle. Everything comes after that. When you win your physical battle, everything comes after that. And he just went up and just dominated it.
It's mad.
Mad settings.
I just couldn't believe that this guy, you know.
Hey, it can all be changed, and one game can change everything. So, and one goal could possibly change everything, you know. Just as Brian said earlier, you know, like the first step is getting that first goal. You know, hit him hard and hit him early, and just continue to just keep hitting them. You know, so okay, I'm optimistic and very, very optimistic about tomorrow. I see it as, you know what, like as in I'm just happy to be able to see football. So, you know, so that'll be it, and especially if it's football that involves the team I love, even better. So tomorrow, let's hope for the best. How do you say? Prepare for the worst, expect the best. You know, that's my nature. So that's how it is. So, but you guys, tomorrow gonna be good. Go ahead, JK. Say what you were gonna say.
Yeah, I'm happy to see hopefully Jota, Trent, and Alisson maybe start. Yeah, I want to see them all sort of getting into the flow. Like, we haven't got that many games left. It's now or never, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to sing the boys are back in town. That's what I want to. That's
the song. That's
the song. How about that? If you Brian doesn't like the Journey song, I'm not going to say the name of it, but the Journey song, he doesn't like that one. So maybe the boys are back in town.
That's the new one.
That's the new one. How about that? That's from yeah. How about that one? 48 hours. 48 hours. That was like that was the movie that made that song.
Eddie Murphy, yeah?
No.
Okay, what movie was it then, Brian?
It's a Tin Lizzy song. The boys are back in town. Yeah. That song is huge, man. That song was huge from.
Oh, I know. What I'm saying movie. What movie was it in though that made it?
Oh no, I was saying that's not the movie that made. I used to say that made that song, but that was already.
No, no.
I didn't even. It was in 48 hours. 48 hours. A long time since I've seen that. Oh, yeah, no, that's a huge. Boys are back in town. Is like.
Let me find out. Let me see.
Yeah, you cannot.
Yeah, see, they do a version of that song. That song, the band that plays that song is not the same band you're talking about. So
yeah, Tin Lizzy is the Irish band. Their song.
Right. Yeah, the band that's in 48 hours is like the boys are back in town. Yeah. That song.
That's a different song.
Well, yeah, okay. But it's called that song is called "The Boys Are Back in Town," though.
Yeah, but I think that's a different. Yeah, that's not the Tin Lizzy. Yeah, me and Nigel.
That's not the. I'm not talking. Yeah,
that must be different. Oh, yeah, I know the. I know the song you mean. Yeah, I know the song you mean. Yeah, that's a different.
Yeah, that's the song I'm referencing.
Yeah. Oh no, you know the Tin Lizzy.
I'd never heard of that band until I saw 48 Hours. I never even really heard of that.
Yeah, I know the song you mean. I know the song you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. But big up to Tin Lizzy. I got you.
Great movie.
But
I got you. It's difficult to give up my day job. I've got a tough critics. The tough critics always ready to definitely correct me.
Yeah, but in 48 hours, the Eddie Murphy film, it's in there as well. So
that's what I'm referencing.
Yeah. I'm talking about Tin Lizzy. Yeah, that's like basic. The Boys Are Back in Town is like the unofficial Irish national anthem. Basically, it's like
I got you. Yeah. The time when I hear that song, I think of 48 Hours when I think of that song. That's probably why.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I know the one you mean.
I can understand having different reference for you.
No, as soon as you sang it, well, sang in inverted commas.
Sang it, yeah. I guess you could call it that.
I knew the one you meant then. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't really. I know. Don't give up my Jake. As Bernadette
That's
said,
what Barney was talking about. Don't give. Yeah, exactly.
I didn't get the microphone out there and start doing my karaoke for it yet.
We need to do a karaoke show, man.
Yeah. Yes.
No, we don't.
Karaoke phone in.
No, we don't.
Yeah,
No,
You
we
think you
don't.
can sing?
I know.
You get Norm.
Ryan shot that down quick. He's like, no, we don't.
That'd be,
I was
I
joking,
think,
bro.
yeah.
Brian was thinking which song, what can I drop? You know,
No.
that'd be funny.
I don't dance. I don't sing.
Yeah. But all the same, yes. Hey, maybe we'll have some songs to sing tomorrow. Hopefully there'll be some good ones to sing tomorrow too. How about that? But until tomorrow, let's all take care of ourselves and continue to be sure to take care of our loved ones in turn, because it's important that we do so. Each day is blessed, so we must make the most of it. So it is. Oh, I definitely. Oh, a few Irish Rebel songs. That's cool. Definitely. That'll definitely be good.
She knows a few Irish rebels as well, huh?
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that's a whole different conversation before we go into that. Yes, it should be. Let's just hope for the best, for tomorrow. So hopefully you guys will see us tomorrow. Hopefully you'll be here. If you can, please do invite every and anyone you can to join the party. It's hopefully will be a party from start to finish. And
Always.
Tomorrow. Yeah, Brian.
Will you be here, Jacob?
Do you want to say anything to the people before we let them go on to their destinations?
Oh, Christ. No, happy landings.
Okay. And JK?
Yeah, so bro, be happy that Man City and Arsenal lost. So they're in the same sort of game pack with us now. They've just got the league left, Man City got the FA Cup, but we're in the same sort of, so their fans, whatever they say, don't really mean nothing no more. So let's just concentrate on tomorrow and Sunday and then the derby.
Okay. Oh wow, Trap Joe's a metalhead. I did not know that, Trap Joe. That's cool. That's pretty cool. I don't know if it's like Slayer metalhead type thing, or are we talking, Iron Maiden? I don't know. We'll have to get into that when next we meet. But yes, thank you guys, Brian, JK. Thank you both for joining me on this flight. Thank you guys in the chat for sticking around, hanging out, kicking it, talking movies, talking pets, talking football as well. Just kind of enjoying the walk, basically. That's what Wednesdays are for. It's just a nice little walk, nice little stroll, And we will be back tomorrow for the game. So until tomorrow, hey, take care of yourselves and up the Reds.